Hello, hello. I'm back. Doesn't do much to be honest. Just chilling. So I'm thinking today I'm just gonna oh shit. I'm thinking today I'm just gonna get the hard mode and hit the hard mode and do some hard mode stuff. Oh yeah. Basically I'm just gonna go for help build help bridge first. They did not enough to kill the wild flash. And besides like I do a 7 build, so I don't know like in wild flash I can't even do wild flash. But I never killed wild flash with summoning before, so eh. Yeah, but I build a lot of houses, so this should be enough for the NPC to live in, right? Like 4 here. I hope so, because because it won't add a lot of NPC like earlier. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I got the big witching table. Oh yeah, like I got obesity set. Like it's just like some of few items. They're like from I said the field accessory I don't have is not much to be honest. It's just like exit. Mm. Oh, it's so nice now you can walk on water. The water walking booth. And like what's something on the side? Like I actually doesn't have anything on the side. It's so many Sony hate Bloodborne.
Sometimes what you need to hear isn't what you want to hear. Like the time in high school when I told a girl I liked her and she said, ew. Did I want to hear that? No. Did it make me stronger and did I learn from it? No. Absolutely not. That was like the meanest possible response. But point is, sometimes you gotta get the cold water. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm splashing you with that cold water. Bloodborne is never getting a remake, a remaster, or a PC port, and especially not a sequel. I'm putting my foot down. Every single video
Yeah.
game conference and every single year, everyone in chat is spamming Bloodborne announcements coming. This is the one. Finally, Bloodborne. We're gonna get Bloodborne port news, this and that. And now the big cope is Bloodborne's 10-year anniversary is coming up. They're finally going to say something about it.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not coming. The closest we will ever get to anything new Bloodborne related is from the fans who are working diligently to bring it to PC with improved visuals and improved frame rate.
It's so nice now because
they're doing the Lord's work, and I think that'll be the last chapter in the Bloodborne legacy when that's finally completed and brought to PC.
I mean, that's true.
I don't think Sony will ever do anything with Bloodborne again. They will let it fester and rot away, collecting cobwebs in their bin of forgotten toys they don't feel like playing with. It doesn't make me happy to say these things. I am a massive Bloodborne fan. It's tied with Elden Ring for my favorite Souls game ever made. And that's the entire genre of Souls, Soulsborne, Souls-like, whatever terminology you want to use. Bloodborne and Elden Ring are tied for me at the #1 spot. I think the game is legitimately a masterpiece, and I would love to see more from it. But unfortunately, I think the only way I'll see more from it is if I close my eyes and just fucking imagine it. Put myself in a box like SpongeBob and Patrick and pretend I'm playing Bloodborne 2 or Bloodborne on PC. I don't think it will ever
The
actually
only
come.
close thing
I
to
do
Bloodborne on
think, though,
PC,
that someone will probably like
the closest thing to Bloodborne on PC is an emulator, like people emulated the PS4, the PS3, and play it.
license the
So
Bloodborne
yeah,
IP and maybe do like some kind of big show out of it. I could see that
like that's the
happening. I
closest
believe
thing.
Sony would be more willing to license it out for like a show production than they would to make another game out of it. So that I do think could be on the table. I just don't think there's going to be any more Bloodborne games or a
Yeah.
Bloodborne port or remaster, whatever. I don't think that's coming. But I could see a world where it at least has a show out of it, because everything's getting shows nowadays, and this is still a hot property that people talk about every day for the last fucking 9 years. So there is meat behind it, and I think that they might try and capitalize off that at some point. Fucking Concord has a whole episode dedicated to it in that upcoming secret level show, and that game died in 2 weeks. That game actually just got pulled off life support in 2 weeks. So games to shows pipeline is hot right now, and I think that could definitely happen for Bloodborne, but I don't think there's going to be a game for it. Even though Miyazaki and the team seem to really still love
Miyazaki's about
Bloodborne,
title We Hold
he
You.
has gone on record to say
Oh.
that they don't own that IP.
Wait.
Unfortunately, and I've
They
said this in other
don't own the-
interviews, it's not my place to talk about Bloodborne specifically. We simply don't own the IP at From Software. Sony owns it. And it's very important to mention
no
that
wonder.
Sony's first-party developer, Japan Studio, which is defunct,
Sony owns Bloodborne. That means you're gonna require the PSN to even play the game. And even then, I don't even know if they're gonna introduce. I don't know if they're gonna introduce a PC port. Oh no, they're gonna.
Defunct had a major role in the development of Bloodborne. So, a big speculation is that because Japan Studio is in the Shadow Realm now, that's been fucking vaporized.
Yeah.
That kind of took Bloodborne with it. But we can sit around in a circle till the cows come home and speculate, articulate, gyrate, ejaculate, all brainstorming about why Sony is sitting on a gold mine like Bloodborne and never really know the full answer. I have my own theories that I'll share with you. I think the Japan studio shutdown is probably a big component of it, but I personally just believe that Sony doesn't have a lot of faith in the IP. And in the modern AAA gaming landscape, if there's even an iota of doubt, companies don't pull the trigger on it because it's very expensive, especially for something as big as Bloodborne. I talked about this on stream, and people brought up Armored Core 6. Armored Core 6 sold, I think it was 3 million copies, which was actually
Armored
a
Core 6
big
is from Sony?
success for them because they didn't
A
put,
nice of a
you know, the
Bloodborne, yeah, I
$100
can see
million
how growing.
budget behind that title, and it still fucking crushed it. Bloodborne, that would be a chunky financial development cycle. Like, that would cost a lot, and the first Bloodborne sold 7 million copies, which is really good, don't get me wrong, that's great by any metric, except Sony's. I am of the firm belief that Sony only thinks in $100+ million. So, take for example Concord. Absolute catastrophe, complete disaster. I already mentioned Voldemort's
Concord
name
kill.
earlier in this video already. That is the biggest flop in entertainment history. But that was a flop that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to Sony, because they put all their eggs in that basket of Concord thinking that it could have the same kind of power as the juggernauts in the industry. Completely delusional, but the point is, I feel like they only put their elbow grease in hundreds of millions of dollars worth of development time and games that they are confident could somehow compete at that level. And I don't think they feel that way about Bloodborne. Let's take, for example, Horizon.
This
Horizon is
should be
already
enough.
getting a
Let me
remake
guess.
despite only being 7 years old, but that's because Horizon sold over 20 million copies. Now, of course, I've said this before, and many others have as well. You could very easily make the argument that Horizon sales numbers are inflated, they're really boosted. It's almost like fucking Viewbots to a certain extent, where Horizon was just bundled with every fucking PlayStation for so long that obviously those sales numbers are going to be heavily boosted for it. So I still think the game is extraordinarily popular and sold many millions of
You
copies,
will
but I
never
think
see
the
Bloodborne
20
on
million
PC.
plus that it sold is definitely helped by it being part of the bundle. But regardless, to Sony's eyes, the corporate vampires at the top, the
I'm not
goddamn
surprised they
fucking
don't
husks
do
in
it.
the
Like
suits,
Bloodborne is
they're
such
just
a
seeing the numbers.
big game.
Horizon,
Oh.
huge numbers. This must mean that it's a slam dunk guarantee anytime we touch this property. So that's why they put so much behind it. You got Lego Horizon coming out. You've got Horizon out the wazoo. Horizon being shoved in every orifice on the human body for gamers. It is because Sony has seen huge numbers and huge returns, so they keep doing more with it. With Bloodborne, there is a single game that sold very well, but it's also been a long time, so maybe they're just skeptical that, you know, this very vocal group might not go out and buy it. Because
I
that's a very
really
real
need the
possibility
magic
too,
story thingy
with
because
things,
I'm a
I
hoarder.
mentioned this on stream,
Like
like
I
the
just
new
collect
Prince of
everything,
Persia
so
Lost
yeah.
Crown. People have been begging for
I
a
cannot
good
even
Prince of
play the
Persia
game
game for
without
God
magic
knows how
stories. Like
long,
that's
and
how
begging
bad
for a
I
good
am.
Ubisoft game for Lord knows how long. And finally, a great Prince of Persia game came out from Ubisoft, and it flopped. Nobody bought it. But the people that did really liked it. I've heard it's one of the best games of the year. I actually haven't played it myself yet because I'm still playing through 9 Souls, but the people I've seen glazing this game are people whose taste usually align with mine when it comes to games, so I do think that they're probably right that the game slaps. And even though the game came out and was very well received, it highly underperformed for them. And that happens from time to time, where something is highly requested, people are really wanting something, fucking foaming at the mouth, saying like, we need this is like a, you know, this is a home run, this is a layup if they just deliver it. Then the thing comes out and it doesn't translate to success. That does happen from time to time. You can never really be sure based on like the people that are very vocal
looks so
about
big
it.
now.
You never really know for sure. And I think that's
I think I
something
can make
that
a giant
Sony
meatball.
might
It's a
think
cyan
for
hand.
Bloodborne, but I feel like Bloodborne is at a point where it is so well known and comes from a developer that has so much prestige
That's why you need the
shouldn't be a
magic story
thought that
mod.
crosses their mind. I'm just saying that it is a possibility that it is something they consider.
Is that evil one?
I can't even pretend to be in Sony's shoes, because if it was me, this would be a no-brainer to do something with Bloodborne. At least a PC port that would have come out many years ago with me at the helm. Like, that feels like it should be so obvious, and that's such a small lift, like a small investment to just port to PC. Like, I know I'm kind of downplaying like what the work that goes into it, but comparatively to a full-blown AAA title being developed, like that one
Wait,
is
Blood Moon?
significantly
And I don't even see
easier
the
for
moon is
them
red.
to
What the
have
hell?
done,
Is
and
that
it would have
weird
just
thing?
been pure profit, because the word of this game is spread for so long, so wide. I think so many people probably would have just gotten it to be part of the crew, part of the ship, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Bloodborne's finally here on PC, I can do that, I can play that now. And I think it would have just
unfortunately,
popped
no,
off.
he doesn't play it.
But I'm just saying, like, even though like there's a very vocal group that wants something to come out, it doesn't always mean it's going to be super successful. But in the case of Bloodborne, I really feel like it probably would. FromSoft is just one of the most beloved developers in the world right now. Everything they touch turns to gold. It's so stupid to not use Bloodborne, but Sony is choosing to just squat on it. I saw someone make a really good point as well in the comments section a little while ago about like Sony's apprehension to do anything with Bloodborne being even more confusing when you consider that one of their big titles for the PS5, like their next gen, like super system seller type title, was
PS5
Demon's Souls Remake. Demon's Souls was, when it came out, a under the radar game. Like, that wasn't a household name by any means. The original Demon's Souls, I think, eventually pushed over 2 million once Dark Souls popped off and people wanted to go back and experience like the first of the Souls series, but it was not a widely popular game.
Yeah,
Demon's
a lot
Souls
of people
Remake,
don't know what
they
Demon's
went
Souls.
hard with and put a lot behind. However, it's also not performed like amazingly for them based on what I can tell. The most recent sales figures I can find put it at just over 2 million copies of Demon's Souls
Yeah,
Remake.
a lot of people doesn't know Demon Soul. People only know about Dark Soul, and the game was so when it first came out, it's so hot, and people just kind of like as having like a rich compilation about Dark Soul, and people when people finished Dark Soul, they want more, so they found out about Demon Soul and they stopped playing Demon Soul. So yeah, so I would say specifically like Bloodborne we're talking about, like Bloodborne is released the same time at Dark Souls 1, I believe, and also like few years later after Dark Souls 1 and after Dark Souls 2, if I remember correctly. And it definitely like it stand out. Like people don't talk about Sekiro that much.
Which I don't think is entirely on
Yeah.
Demon Souls' shoulders here. I think it's because of the scarcity of the PS5 initially. You were more likely to find a fucking Chaos Emerald than you were to find a PS5 for the first couple years. So obviously it's not going to have spectacular sales numbers. But maybe that plays a role in FromSoft being so apprehensive to use the Bloodborne IP for even like a remake.
Dude, if
I
they
don't
can,
know,
dude,
but
if,
it is very
if
odd that
Sony
they chose to
remake,
remake Demon Souls,
Sony,
which did not perform very well, instead of doing Bloodborne,
they gonna make a
which
lot of
did.
money. Like
Even when Bloodborne
100%.
came out, it was massive. It was a huge success. It's not like it just retroactively became a big success. Demon Souls did, but not Bloodborne. Bloodborne was always a success. Yet they haven't touched it. They haven't done anything with it. The closest thing we've had to anything new Bloodborne related is from fucking Astrobot with a costume for Bloodborne. It's so weird. I don't know why they wouldn't have chose Bloodborne for the PS5 remake. That would have made so much more sense. I really like Demon Souls remake. I had a great time with it. But just
he
really
probably
looking
could
at it,
sell
I
it
don't
then
know
because like
what Sony has against Bloodborne. Like, the more I break it down, I just cannot fathom this hate boner they have for Bloodborne.
because
I don't
PS5 just
get it.
released
I
like
really don't. There's
a
gotta
week
be
ago, so
something more behind the scenes that's
yeah.
leading to them not doing anything with it. I've thrown out so many silly theories and thought processes they might have that leads to them not touching it, but at the end of the day, I don't get it. I think it would have been very simple to do the bare minimum of just giving it an update for a PC port, a remaster, so that way you can go over 30 FPS, because the game is still 30 FPS. Like, it would have been the easiest thing in the world just to do a small scale project with it. Instead of, if you don't want to cannonball into the pool, whatever, I guess, it would have just been so easy for Sony to test the waters and see how it would, like how the community would respond, if it would be successful or not. And it just doesn't make sense that they haven't. They do this for so many games that are significantly less popular than Bloodborne, and I don't get it. While I may not understand the real motive or reason why Bloodborne is so stagnant and Sony prefers to just let it get stale and collect dust, I do know for sure that they're not going to change. Sony has proven to me time and time again that they are a creature of habit. If they have decided they don't want to use the Bloodborne IP, they're just not going to use it ever. I think Sony as a company will probably wither and die and fucking dissolve before they ever do anything with Bloodborne again. I do think they could make a show out of it, like I said earlier. I think they will eventually start licensing it for shows and all of that, but I do not think there will ever be another Bloodborne game, like an official one, a sequel or a remaster. And I just want to throw this Hail Mary out there because I know it goes against what a lot of people believe, that eventually we'll see more from Bloodborne because we have to. It's so popular, it doesn't make sense why we wouldn't. I just truly think Sony is going to play hardball with it, and out of spite maybe, never use Bloodborne again. That's my theory, and I just wanted to put it out there. I think people gotta stop getting their hopes up at every single video game conference to see Bloodborne related news, because I don't think it's ever coming. Now, I do have a track record of being very wrong where I make these predictions and then within like a month, it's completely washed. I made a similar prediction for Halo Infinite, though I will say I was partially correct, because what I talked about with Halo Infinite is that the game they showed would never come out, and it never did. What we got with Halo Infinite was a much more half-baked version of what they used to show. So I'm gonna stick to my guns on that a little bit. I was kind of half right with Halo Infinite. I was super wrong with Elden Ring though. I said Elden Ring probably wouldn't be coming out for like another 5 or so years if it even existed at the current moment, and then it came out like the following year. So, I don't have the best track record with this, so this could serve a really noble purpose of like kind of jinxing it into existence where I'm saying Bloodborne's never coming, like a new Bloodborne, and then we'll get it in like a month or two. So, it's kind of a win-win. I'm either right that they never use Bloodborne again, or I'm wrong and we get more Bloodborne, which is a win for everybody. So, yeah, I just want to talk about it a little bit. That's about it. See ya.
So even if Bloodborne doesn't came to PC, I just want Silksong. Like when's the last time you see anything new about Silksong? And even then, the Hollow Knight is still a good game. Ah, I feel so bad now. They're gonna never release Silksong, Song and Bloodborne. I think like Hollow Knight is insanely a good game for a soul-like genre, even though it's kind of a 2D platform a little bit, so it stand out. Across all the kind of Bloodborne game I play. I'm not Bloodborne, all the soul game I kind of play. Hollow Knight is like one of the games that's closest one out there. Enjoy it. Yeah. Too bad no hot home. Oh yeah, good luck with that. I never finished the DLC. I finished the game, so I didn't finish the DLC for Hollow Knight. What did I actually actually close the container here? Oh, I cannot defend stacking. Eighteen defense. Is there even like a better armor before War Flash for summoning? Let me see. Okay, Z is many of summon. Oh, ooh. Oh, Z mythic armor now. Never mind. Increase your mag minion by one. Increase your mag. Oh, Z. I can. Oh, Z. So I need bone and shadow scale. How many shadow scale I have? Definitely not enough. Uh, need to kill. Yep, eat the world. Dude, I don't. Dude, I just realized like in the future when I start to play when I back to Calamity mode again, the either world gonna be so hard because I'm not gonna play. When I plan on at least play on dead mode. Dude, master mode with dead. Is it dead or revenge? The one the one higher than another. I don't recall. The last time I tried Calamities, there still like the revenge mod on. So yeah, let me see something else. Yeah. It shouldn't roll away, right? Oh, never mind, it's still rolling. Oh, good. Either word drop hammer is so funny because it measure. It also had really high drop too. It also like major contribute like major buff for everything. But I'm so glad they're adding food item in the game because I never use food item. I don't even know food item exist. Wait. Oh no, this thing so tanky. They deal so much damage. But is summoner just as weak as the mage? Because like the defense is so bad. Like I play melee with on Starbucks and now I'm moved to summoning, so it's so bad. Okay, let me see. Is there like a fire thingy, illusionate, or is it not illusion? This is a granite one. Oh, the granite one is from oh like the hard mode. So is it like gonna be early hard mode thingy or something? I don't know. Yeah, it should be enough to crafting a new set. Oh, that's just barely enough. Oh, slightly more defense. Okay, that's really nice. We got so many anglers. Wait, 1 second. Someone called me. Hello. I hate. Oh my god, scam caller. I hate them. This scam caller so annoying. Is it? Wait, what?
Here it is, and so you have
Ball,
this is
meatball.
just, I guess, an average day. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I watched this, and am I the only person that feels like
Wait, what
like
is it flying towards me?
it's crazy to
Or
watch this
slightly
and to think that we
affected
have people
you?
here that are complaining about like
Wait,
you know,
what
whether a
is it thing
character in
suddenly
a
around me?
TV show is gay or not, right? It really, like, it really puts it into perspective, because like, imagine living in this place about fat positivity, right? Like, it's actually
What is it?
like,
Summon a raccoon.
this is the thing, is like, I don't want to see the US get like entangled in like a conflict in the Middle East. Like, I don't want to see us get entangled in it, but don't you know, don't get it twisted. I think this is horrible. This is fucking, it's fucking terrible what's happening over there. Like, I think that the truth is, like, for a lot of civilians, like, on both sides, like, they don't have anything to do with this. Like, they don't, like, yeah, maybe they might not like those other people, but it's not like they're really, you know, out there trying to kill them. They're just trying to live their fucking life, man, just the same as everybody else's. So watch this shit, bro. Like, take a look at this. Oh my god, look at that.
God dang.
As far as I know, this is real. This is like straight out of Helldivers 2. Manga W? Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh my god, but pictures
Is that a
AI
golden
made? I'm
dragon?
not sure. I think they got a few other
It's
ones,
a
right?
robot.
So yeah,
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
What's the message?
All right. Well, there it is. And then there's another, it's this one too, again.
Oh, no.
The people of Iran should know
World War
Israel
III
stands
incoming.
with you. Wait.
The leaders of Iran. I speak.
Wait, what? I don't know. The Iron Dome is failing to stop Iran's missiles. Ooh, ooh.
Oh my fucking god, that looks so goddamn scary.
Ooh, they got him.
It doesn't even look like real. That is wild.
Maybe they did that on purpose. Yeah, it's bad.
Even though it's real, it just looks so
attack.
out of
What is
play.
this?
Like it's
Iran attacks Israel. Massive attack
scary,
of over 400 ballistic missiles fired at Israel by Iran. Sirens across Israel. Oh, fuck. God damn.
but World War III coming. Good luck.
No.
Yeah. They're gonna. I really think the draft cannot do anything. Like I don't think no one gonna answer the draft. Like, even if,
Yeah, they killed like some leaders in Hezbollah.
Yeah.
I saw stuff about that. I mean, it's been a lot, bro. It's been a whole lot. Let me see. There's another one here. Damn, this shit's loud. Sorry about that.
but damn, it's loud. Yeah.
They're gonna die? Maybe. I mean, I'm sure somebody will. I mean, that's a guarantee. Think about how loud that is in real life. Yeah, for real. I think it's crazy to watch this and like think about how comfortable and safe we are in our country. You know, it really is something that's special, and I think we take it for granted too much. And yeah, it's nuts for now. Yeah, it's been
that's
for
quite
now for
impressive.
the entire history of America, right? I mean, the truth is, like, you know, there's only, like, I mean, no other country really has the same military power as us besides, like, China. And, like, we do so much business with China. We're not going to get in a war with China, realistically, right? And so, like, it's not really going to happen. So, like, we're very lucky. We're extremely lucky. Russia? Russia can't even take over Ukraine. You think they're going to come over to here? No, they can barely even fucking handle that. Russia's already busy, okay? Like, they've already, like, yeah, bro, like, they've got aggro on something else. They got no time for this. Yeah, true base. I'm just being honest, right? What if it does, though? I mean, it's scary. It really is. This shit's fucking scary.
And
It's
mind
like
you,
America with Vietnam. That's right. That's
Dude.
right. That was a war over there, not over here.
we managed to seize it because of the
Video,
modern
reported
day
impacts in
internet. Like,
Israel from
imagine we
Iran
don't have
missiles.
like
Yeah, big
access
fucking
to the
surprise.
entire information. We
God
don't even
damn.
know what it looked like.
Israel's wars are not our wars. True. Oh my God. More footage right now from Iran's attack on Israel. Well, it's like anybody could expect this shit to happen. I mean, like, fuck. Like, you can't go and kill people over there and, like, bomb them and think it's not gonna happen. Of course they're gonna retaliate.
Like
Look
it's
at
so
this.
hard back then to search
it's like the 4th
any
of fucking
raw
July.
footage, and you had to like
This is
go
crazy.
anywhere. Now you can even just go Twitter and just see raw footage.
Oh my God. Check Trump's Twitter, bro. Yeah, I'll look at it in a minute. I like, this is all just... Isn't it so crazy, like, this shit's happening, like, in real time? I always, I think about that a lot. It's like the fact that we're watching this stuff happen.
Yeah, like no
like,
way to hide
live.
stuff in anything anymore. Like everyone had a
It's like,
cell
these are
phone
videos
and
from,
everyone
like,
had
20 minutes
access
ago,
to the
right?
internet and they can
Stuff
just post
like
it.
that. That's incredible, man. Like, you know, we're living history. It's surreal. It really is. Let's watch the next one.
נפילות בנבטים, אחי.
Yeah.
נפילות קשות בנבטים,
Oh, man,
שומע?
I feel like some of these
וואו,
are...
וואו,
yeah.
וואו, וואו,
Damn, look at them all.
וואו! הכל נופל לנבטים, אני אומר לך, מתקפה אחת החזקות.
Damn.
אימא'לה, 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 זהו, למקלט, נבטים.
I wonder who they're bombing. I wonder if they're just like bombing like random civilians. They're probably bombing like military bases, I would assume. Look at that. That's incredible. A mix? Yeah, I mean, like, definitely there's always going to be a mix. I just wonder, like, what the targeting is. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, do they have a dartboard and they just, like, throw a dart, and they're like, all right, let's bomb there. I feel like probably not, right? Just so you understand what one of the ballistic missiles from Iran looks fired like. What the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah, I would stay the fuck away from that. Iran officially declares a state of war against Israel.
Fuck.
Wow, this happened 6 minutes ago? That's crazy. Wow.
That's so hot.
That's huge. Yeah, it is. Like, that's nuts. Like 6 minutes ago. Wow. Didn't they do that already? I don't know. Pog, Iran downfall? Honestly, like, this is like my honest opinion about like this whole conflict. I don't really think it, like, at a certain point, I just think it's sad. I think it's really sad. Because there's so many people that get killed in these conflicts that have nothing to fucking do with either side. They're not trying to do anything. They're not trying to, like, you know, destroy some other country. They just want to live their life and, you know, just be safe. And this happens, it's fucking terrifying, right? It's so scary. Like, who's right, who's wrong? In my opinion, it's not my business. Maybe that's just me, right? But like, I see this, it's not my business to figure out like what, like who it is or anything like that. It's scary. Everyone's wrong, I guess so.
But even had piercing.
More immigrants to Turkey? Maybe, I don't know. This always has been? Yeah, I guess so. People just trying to live? Yeah, it's genuinely frightening. Wow. Has been trying to be sympathetic. Well, I think, like, really, I mean, I can see if I was them, right? It's like, it's just disappointing that it happens, right? It's just sad. Yeah. It's sad. I feel like anybody, like, you don't need to be like a fucking, you know, an empath to understand that it's sad that there's like a bunch of civilians that are getting bombed over some bullshit. Yeah, I mean, like, it really isn't like, you don't need to be a genius to figure that out, right? I mean, damn. Listen to the Benjamin Netanyahu message. He agrees with you. Does he agree with me? I mean, then I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. From Iran, from Iran with love. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh God. That's incredible. Put yourself in their shoes, it's fucking scary. Exactly, man. Yeah. Better build your bunkers. I mean, I don't think it would really matter. Yeah, I mean, the type of missiles and shit. Pray for Israel. Like, why? Like, I mean,
But it's so fucking scary.
I feel like this conflict is so, like, in my opinion, right? This is my opinion. I feel like this conflict is so messy and so convoluted. I would not even begin to say who's right and who's wrong. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's I have no idea. I legitimately have no fucking idea. It's just fucking crazy. Yeah, the world's against it. Yeah, I guess so. It's completely unnecessary conflict. Most conflicts are like that. But yeah. Pray for my wallet during inflation. Couldn't give two fucks about him. Yeah, I get that. I think that's the way a lot of Americans feel.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in America probably don't want to have a lot to do with it. Look at this. Multiple... Oh, wow.
Like, no one wants to deal with this, to be honest with you.
Okay. Okay, guys, we gotta get off the roof. These are coming down right next to us here.
Damn.
They're coming down. One just about... We gotta go inside.
That's nuts.
Okay. Okay, guys, we gotta get off the roof.
Yeah, so they
These
actually are hitting.
down.
Damn. Wow. It's fine, don't worry about it. I don't know, man. It doesn't look fine to me. Yeah, it seems pretty bad. State Department's making a statement soon. Hopefully the U.S. stays out of it. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, is like this the beginning of World War III? I mean, I don't know. I think that... Careful scrolling, there's gore. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not even sure. But, man. Holy fuck, man. World War III, yeah, I guess so. Let me look at some of these other ones here and just see this. Oh, man.
Oh my god, I cannot even kill them.
Isn't it incredible? Like, because, like, you think about, like, the amount of footage that we have from, like, World War II and World War I. And, like, now you have, like, so many people that are just, like, recording videos. And you've got so much footage of, like, this stuff happening from, like, a live civilian POV.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible, right? That's amazing. It's just a bunch of fucking missiles getting shot over there. Hundreds of ballistic missiles fired at Israel by Iran. I'm not worried about Israel at all. They'll survive.
What the?
I think that Israel will survive if we allow them to survive. I think that the U.S. is really what's going to back them up or not. Oh, Jesus. Damn, there's a lot of these. It's like, how many of these videos are there? Oh my god. This is the end of Iran? Oh my god.
This thing straight out from like a movie, like you don't even see it in real life, and now you just see it. People just
Should drop a
record it to
nuke on them? Why should we nuke them? Like, just fucking stay out of it. Yeah, what do you mean? There's already a bombing a couple months ago, nothing will happen after this? No, the bombing a couple of months ago was nothing compared to this. Like, this is nothing, bro. Like, sorry, that was nothing, bro, compared to this. Like, this is insane. Like, this is, bro, this is like the, this is like...
Oh. What?
Like, at the end of a mission in Helldivers. This is crazy. What are you talking about? Like, the other one, they bombed one thing, and it was like a remote military base. It was nothing crazy. Like, this is nuts. They've been instigating? Yeah. It's still nothing compared to what the U.S. could do? Yeah, well, of course. I mean, right? I mean, we're a lot bigger than Iran or the other one, fucking Israel, right? So, yeah, of course that's true. Breaking, Iran says Israel will be targeted again if it responds. Oh, boy. Damn.
Okay, is it even way worse than the meatballs? The meatball way stronger.
How do they even think they can win this, either side? One of the big important things that a lot of people need to understand is that politicians, in a lot of cases, like, if somebody gets bombed or something like that, the people in that country will want the politician to react to that. And so they have to, like, basically, if Iran or Israel gets attacked, there's a lot of political pressure that's put on them to respond. And so it's like, if they don't respond, there's like a whole separate set of problems, right? So I think that's really what happens too. Everybody's a military expert? I'm not, yeah, I'm not sure about that, right?
I agree.
They see how many were injured? I mean, I don't think that we're going to know that until probably tomorrow.
What mode? Yeah,
and who knows, probably by tomorrow they might kill more people. So it's hard to say.
Whew.
No way the Iran military has a Twitter account and they say, these are our hypersonic systems, catch them if you can.
No.
I refuse to believe this is real. Like, I mean, it doesn't have the gold check mark. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Oh, I don't have the...
Not a real account? Yeah, I don't believe this, but that's fucking nuts. Seems fake as fuck? Yeah, I guess so. But, oh my god.
Hey, the moon.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Moon
CNN
dragon.
confirms Israel is using human shields, strategically positioning its command and control center in densely populated civilian areas. Let me go ahead and listen to this.
New summon.
The U.S. intel view that among the targets were Israeli airfields, but also, and this is crucial, the headquarters of Mossad, the International Intelligence Service of Israel, which is inside Tel Aviv. It's in the northern part of Tel Aviv, but it's in the city. It's in a densely populated area. And of course, the concern is,
I still like the meatball
even though Iran might consider that a military target, it is in a densely populated city with civilians around it, and that's just one more layer of escalation. The U.S.
Well, I mean, then there's civilians that are gonna get killed. I mean, like, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Ron's bringing the heat. Yeah, I mean, that's just what's gonna happen. Apparently, most of them were intercepted. That's why they glow. Yeah, we'll see what happens. No one got killed. You telling me, like, all these rockets, not a single person got killed? I don't know. Palestinians in the West Bank are happy with the gifts sent to them from Iran. Wait, what?
Wait, I can summon 5 meatball now?
That one didn't, it didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work, bro. That's insane. Like, I can't imagine living this way, bro. Like, it's actually insane, the fact that, like, this is the reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it's just me, but, like, I see this and it's just such a shock. Such an incredible fucking shock to see this. Imagine it reactivates. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they probably understand those bombs better.
Oh man, I
Innocent
can't even go
Palestinian
into this
civilians
corruption biome.
celebrating Iran's missiles. Wait, what?
Are they celebrating the bombing of Israel?
So they're happy that, yeah, I mean, of course. Of course.
God damn.
Yeah. Insane people innocent? No, I mean, it's disgusting nonetheless. They're enemies. Yeah, they're enemies. I mean, for sure. No, like, everybody, they want revenge? You gotta think in mind, like, this is the, it's obviously, like, yeah, it's bad that, it's bad that, like, Palestinians are, like, celebrating, you know, Israeli civilians getting killed, right? Like, that's stupid. It's bad. But at the same time, like, I mean, a lot of us were around when September 11th happened. Bro, like, we were doing the same thing. Yeah, I'll tell you this, right? Is like, if that October 7th thing had happened to the United States, or if it had happened to China, Palestine wouldn't exist anymore. That's just the truth. It wouldn't even exist. So, like, people, yeah, that'd be over.
Finally,
They'd
got
get
the corruption
totally
now.
wiped out. And so, you know, we can go and talk down and say how this is so bad that they're acting this way, but we do the same thing if we were in this situation. Absolutely. That's right. Yeah, I'd be happy. I get bombed every day. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be happy to be honest. I would get bombed every day, and now someone's bombing them back. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see it from their point of view. Like, of course, that's the way they're gonna see it. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Oh, is this a better image? Let me see if I can find it.
Football. I love football.
Let me see. I'll watch it again.
Ooh.
Damn, that's incredible. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, it's loud as fuck. I know, man.
Adamantine. Oh,
Is there
goddamn,
an
not
American
me,
embassy
bro.
at Israel? What happens if that get bombed? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, it's, you know, they said they're gonna do a press briefing and talk about it, so we'll see what happens.
Adamantine.
The Trump campaign launched a new ad following the Islamic Republic of Iran's barrage of ballistic missiles aimed at Israel. What is this?
Oh no.
Like us, China also saw their weakness. So did Putin. Then he invaded Ukraine. Hamas saw Harris' anti-Israel statements and will use it as a green light to keep murdering Israelis. And Iran thinks Harris is so incompetent. New intel shows they're trying to help Harris win the election. America doesn't need another TikTok performer. We need the strength that will protect us.
I'm
Of
Donald
course.
J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Like us.
It's a pretty decent commercial, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, of all the ones that I've seen, that was a pretty good one. Let's see. Iran used hypersonic missile. Here's how it looks, unlike the others. Damn. Damn.
Ooh, they show like 20 of the demon altar already. God damn, it's gonna be. My underworld gonna be filled with like.
That's not what happens here. 180 ballistic missiles. Most of them are intercepted outside of Israel. Out of those that made it, there was one direct hit. A few landed in open territories and were intercepted on purpose. That's about it. Yeah. VP debate tonight. It's at 8 p.m. Okay. The fucker hits fast and hard. Yeah. There's only one hit? I mean, I don't know. I think we'll just have to wait and see. It says 80% of Iranian missiles hit their target in Israel. I mean, I mean, I've already seen more than one direct hit. It certainly seemed like an explosion to me. I feel like it's so hard to know, like, what's true and what's not. Look at that. Oh my God. One hit, by the way. I mean, it's hard to say, but like, I just can't imagine that's one hit.
More than one hit, to be honest. Like, so many.
Right?
And I'm surprised. Like,
I mean,
no,
maybe I'm
no
wrong,
one died.
but, I mean, it doesn't look that
it's
way
really
to me. I'll
fortunate.
tell
Like,
you
no
that.
one died.
There's been reports of over 25 direct hits, but it looks like 50 or more. Yeah.
Okay, I think that should be enough. Like, I just showed enough.
Jesus. You can see the ones that are hit by the shield. The rest seem to be getting through. Yeah. Like, I feel like that one just got hit. Like, you guys see 3 right here? Like, watch. There's 3. Watch this. These 3. I feel like they just hit that one. Like, that's... I mean... So, if that's what it looks like, and if that's what it looks like if they hit one, then what are all the other ones doing? You know what I mean? Like, it certainly doesn't look like it's 1 out of 50, right? This is all video, a new video. I think this one is a, yeah, this is a new video, right? Yeah, watch Iran's missiles literally ran on Tel Aviv. Yeah, what the fuck, man? Oh my God. Iran declares state of war against Israel. Man.
State of war. They actually went to war with Israel. Oh,
man.
Oh, it's a good mining potion.
That's a lot of them, bro. Like, yeah. Oh my God. Chet's super desensitized and unhinged. What the fuck? Why? Because people don't care about it the same way that you do? I mean, you shouldn't expect to see a lot of, I mean, big surprise. A bunch of people in the West don't give a fuck about what happens in the Middle East. Like, is it really that big of a shock to you? Like, I mean, yeah, why would people give a fuck? Straight up, why would they care? Like, they don't live there, they don't know anybody that lives there. I mean, like, what is this? So, yeah, of course that's the way people are gonna see it.
Oh, the wizard.
Some people have values, that's just your opinion? Okay, well, I'm just telling you, like, that's just what I think is gonna happen, right? I'm just telling you what's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna get mad at me for it, then that's on you.
Yeah, that's so...
Close footage of Iranian missiles destroying Nevada airbase. What's this? So this is an airbase?
Illusion AI artist. No,
I have to talk about this goober, and I apologize because I know so many people are tired of hearing about AI, but I cannot fight this urge. It's like Gollum with the one ring here. The more and more I read about this dweeb, the less and less I can resist speaking about it. An AI artist, and that is a word I'm using very loosey-goosey when referring to this gentle sir, has the chutzpah to attempt to appeal the Copyright Office's decision to reject copyright protection to his AI-generated art piece.
Wait.
His name is Jason M. Allen. You've probably seen this picture that he AI generated because it won an art competition like 2 years ago, and it was a huge story because AI art had just won an art contest, so it led to...
Wait, how did AI art won
He is trying
art
to
contest?
copyright that piece. It was rejected. He's salty, and he's attempting to appeal it. I believe the Copyright Office made the right decision saying, no sir, and just putting the kibosh on that. Copywriting an AI-generated piece is like trying to copyright a fucking wet dream that you had. It's so silly. And Jason M. Allen's attitude about AI art, I think, is just so pretentious and misguided that it is compelling me to talk about this because I just think it's so delusional. He described his creative process with Midjourney as an iterative process where he provides detailed and repeated prompts to generate images. He argues AI is simply another tool like a brush or camera. I would challenge anyone to prove that it's otherwise. It is a program, it is a machine, it's a device that people can use to technologically make their lives more efficient. Hey pal, you just blow in from Stupid Town? I'll accept that challenge, Jason. A brush or a camera does not create anything for you. You, behind the camera and the brush, still have to make the art. This does it for you. It's not the fucking Disney Channel, Greg, where you'd like hold out the brush and you'd make the Mickey Mouse ears and it just appears before you. You still have to be talented
you need to draw, so
in order to use the tools like a brush or camera to create art. When it comes to AI, you don't have to have talent at all.
Dude, even AI doesn't do much. You just typing. You don't even drawing. Like, at least the camera, you need to like position yourself.
Anybody can
take a
do
picture.
it if you have a keyboard. It doesn't take a galaxy brain gifted human being to do so. But would you consider me an artist? I certainly hope not. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Here, let me just showcase the difference between real art and AI art. This is one of the best pieces that the world has ever seen. That's a portrait of me that I'm holding in the thumbnail here. So when I first went to college, I was doing digital arts, and I had no talent for it whatsoever. So that is a portrait I made of myself. I'm sure you can see the resemblance is uncanny. I really captured my my appearance one-to-one. And to expand on that even further, here's a portrait I made of my father in the same course that year at college when I was doing art. That piece still makes me laugh to this day. That, I think, is probably one of the finest things that has ever been put to paper. Like, since the beginning with papyrus till this day, I think that is the finest artistic work ever created. That portrait of my fucking dad. But now, let me show you what my AI
Was that already
like.
way more authentic than anything AI
2 years
years
ago? Wow, I really got a lot better, didn't I, Jason? It's stupid. To make the argument that AI is just a tool and you still need to have talent as an artist to use it, like it's some kind of Excalibur or something that you need to train with, is outrageous. It is delusional. Look at me using actual art tools, and you can see I am not a talented artist at all. And I took 2 years of art courses and only marginally improved. That is something you have to work at for years. With AI art, I type in a single sentence and it does it for me. To compare a brush and a camera to AI-generated art, like using Midjourney, is laughable, Jason. That's the reason people shoot spitballs at you, brother. It's a stupid take to have. He also couldn't resist throwing a little pity party and playing a sad song on the world's smallest violin, saying, "I have lost a lot of respect for artists, especially those who attack me and continue to attack me. I'm standing in defense of my rights to express myself
because you
using
don't
AI
draw.
generative tools and against a popular narrative that a lot of
You
people,
just
for some
create
unknown
prom,
agenda,
and that's
are
a
pushing really
prom
hard to
do
prevent
it.
people from being able to express themselves." I don't know what ghosts you're fighting. I don't know what you're even referring to here. If you're just AI generating art on your own, who cares? No one cares.
You pass it
out
as
you're
an
trying
art.
to copyright it, man. And the fact that you're entering it into art competitions against real artists. And I know that term has been super muddied, real artist, but I think most sane people can agree that someone just AI generating art is not an artist by any sense of the word. You are typing in sentences and letting the machine make whatever it envisions. The hardest part of your creative process, Jason, and I cannot believe he has the chutzpah to call it a creative process, is just hitting enter multiple times. As he said, he just repeats the prompt enough until it spits out an image that he's satisfied with. Where is the creative process there, Jason? You type in a sentence and then just have it keep repeating the process till you get something you like. Oh, God. It's just so silly. He says, as AI continues to evolve, it is imperative that our legal framework adapts to protect the rights of humans who harness technology for creative expression. Which is a complete load of horseradish, because it has nothing to do with creative expression. If you want to personally just generate AI art on your own, go wild. I don't think there's anyone in the world who actually gives a shit.
If nobody gave you,
James
like...
Corden as Vegeta destroying planet Namek and use Midjourney for it, go for it. Nobody cares, man. It's
nobody
when you try
cares
and
what
sell it and try and license it and copyright it, this and that people obviously take an issue because it's ridiculous, man.
I'm fine with you creating AI
expression,
stuff.
Jason.
But if you
it's
try
all
to pass it
about how
out
he's
as
not
like a
able to
real
make
art,
money off of his
yeah,
AI
that's
art. He's saying that the copyright denial significantly impacted his career. I have experienced price erosion in the sense that there is a perceived lower value of my work, which has impacted my ability to charge
it just
industry-standard
generated.
licensing fees.
AI.
I don't
It's
know who
just
the fuck
generated
would
the
pay for
prompt.
AI art in the year 2024. If you like an AI art piece, just generate it yourself. Jesus Christ, like, you can just do it yourself. Why would you ever pay money for it? But whatever. He then went on to say that it put me in a terrible position with no recourse against others who are blatantly and repeatedly stealing my work. It's kind of ironic, don't you think,
Stealing
Jason?
my work.
AI art is trained on real artists' work in order for it to generate the way that it does. Blatantly just stealing their work and copying it in order to generate pieces based on it. I also love that there's a little peek under the hood here. We get a little taste of the secret sauce. He told the office that he created the art with the generative AI system Midjourney by testing hundreds of prompt iterations. My god, backbreaking labor. He typed hundreds of words, damn it, and altered it with Photoshop. Yeah, I'm sure he did a ton of altering.
That is
The
something.
office
Just
rejected Allen's application after he refused to disclaim the parts of the image that Midjourney generated. Mr. Allen had a specific artistic idea conceived of in his mind, and he used Midjourney as a tool to create an artistic expression of that idea. Such creative input is on par with that expressed by other types of artists and is capable of copyright protection. Goofball, I have hundreds of artistic ideas and visions in my head that I can never bring to life because I'm not a talented artist. And what separates me from actual talented artists. That's the whole point, man. And it's fine if you want to generate what's in your head using AI art. I don't think that's a big deal at all. The problem comes when you try and copyright it, you try and sell it, or you try and deceive people with it, or you try and use AI art tools as a means of pushing out real artists. That's the main problem with AI art, and I'm sure you've all heard it a million times, but it's true. Companies are going to be shifting to AI art because it's cheaper and they can infinitely generate art without needing to pay actual artists a salary or anything. And it is a grim future because of things like that.
100%. In the future, they're gonna be using AI for a lot of
that
things.
just take what's up here in your noodle and put it onto a picture, go for it. But why are you going to try and make the argument that you're some real artist, you're going to try and copyright it, you're going to try and license it? It's stupid. I think that's so dumb. If Jason was just a little more honest with himself, like, hey, I just kind of typed sentences into Midjourney and I got a really cool picture from it, then no one would care. But right now, he's opened a goddamn case about it because he's so butthurt that they refuse to protect his AI-generated piece with a copyright protection. Like, what the fuck, man? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I had to talk about this. But, so anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
Oh, that a big ass chest. Basically, just some guy butthurt that like they cannot copyright the AI art. Is that like the dumbest thing you can ever try to do? Oh yeah, I using AI to create this art, and I'm gonna copyright it. I'm gonna trademark it. It's my art now. Yeah, and here's the thing, AI taking art from different sorts too, so you don't even draw art. You don't even draw to begin with. It's just like combination of different type of art style that created, you know. Like you not even draw, like at least the artists draw it, they have their own art style and everything, like they can easily trademarking their work because you know it's their work, they draw it. They has the paint brush and pencil and basically everything they draw. But this guy don't even draw. He's just typing prompt. And the prompt isn't like taking his art, the prompt taking all the people art to do it. So yeah. So everything he do, it not even belong to him in the first place. It not even even more funny. It not even hit AI. It not even hit AI's work. So he it's it's some kind of dumb for you to like try to copyright strike the AI bullshit. I don't understand. You know, I don't understand why do people doing it. Or like, why do people like try to do the AI thingy and push it Like that. There, like the AI thing is also like an artwork. Yeah. I was watching upload video, but then like I haven't heard about him since he got married. Three days ago, the alien Italian call.
Have you ever wanted to join a cult, but then you think, I don't know, they're all just a bit too dodgy for my taste? Well, today is your day because we're talking about the Federation of Dom and Her, the world's first ethical cult.
Ethical cult?
Not mine. Founded in the year 1975 by this man, Oberto Audi, they are a federation of self-sustaining communities situated in the Piedmont region of northern Italy. Essentially, their claim to fame is that they dug a bunch of these very interesting temples into the ground like some latter-day dwarves of Moria. They also claim to be in contact with a race of cosmic beings that they refer to as the Self. Because really, is it even a New Age cult if you don't sprinkle a bit of ET on there? Put a UFO on the holy text, I'm getting sucked up in doing space mass! So why am I talking about this? Well, it's because Vice Media did a little piece on it in their Fringes series, and honestly, every time I think I've seen the last of the insane things I'm gonna see, another one just pops up. So naturally, I'm not going in alone.
I'm mainly
If I have
watching
to suffer,
so yeah.
So do all of you. By the way, can I just say that the intro to this Vice series, Fringes, has the
I
most
watch
metal
PewDiePie and
and
Thanos
or
streaming.
schizophrenic opening jingle I've ever heard. Just listen to this.
What the fuck is that?
Who just sat down to make that thing and was like, oh, that's good, yeah, crank that up. Nuts! Anyways, let's get into the video, shall we?
Damanhur has over 600 followers, live in a community complete with shops, living quarters, and temples.
Damanhur shunned the media, but by promising not to call them a cult, I've managed to get an invitation.
Well, with friends like these, geez, you gotta do them dirty like that right off the bat? Also, I'm pretty sure by saying it like that, you've pretty much voided the agreement.
I've managed to get an invitation to their biggest celebration, the birthday party of the deceased founder Falco.
Okay, so your big journalistic sting operation is essentially for a guy's birthday party, am I getting this correct? Also, his birthday party, that's their main celebration? I feel like it takes the weight out of it when you say it like that. Like, technically, Christmas is Jesus' birthday party, but, you know, it's not like, happy birthday to Jesus, happy birthday to Jesus. It's not the same.
Ah, there is Falco, an insurance broker who in the 70s became a spiritual guru.
Wait, hold on. Before he founded a new religion, he was an insurance broker. Doesn't have the same down-to-earth ring to it as, like, carpenter, but, you know, you gotta start somewhere. Do you think he was just, like, absolutely sick of pushing papers, and one day he's just like, do I have it in me to lie to people? Can I just, like, make shit up and reap the benefits? What do I gotta say to him? Sante sana, squash banana, pay me money, you'll go to heaven? Yeah, I can do that.
It was Falco's vision that led to 9 temples being built, 70 meters underground.
I'm actually surprised
they
they managed to build
version
it.
of the
So, yeah.
Sistine Chapel.
What the hell is this shot of him just standing here nonchalantly while he's, like, unsealing a pharaoh's tomb? Yeah, I don't care. Mummy's curse could be in there. I'll just block it, dude. No, I don't care. Be honest, you put this here yourself, didn't you? Just so you could look cool unsealing it, and I gotta say, I'm sorry, but I feel like it doesn't work that way. You can't curse yourself.
This is the hall which is dedicated to the beauty of this planet. In these walls you can see all different landscapes that represent the beauty of this planet Earth.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole beauty, though. That is all of it right there. That might even be the ape from Tarzan. We don't know. And this guy, at least 2 no touchy warrants from the state of Arizona. He's on the run. But I don't know, guys. Looking at this, I feel like you might need a bit of help with the aesthetics. And you know who would never fail to fill out this wall with beauty and style? Oh, that's right. It's the good folks over at Displate. When it comes to wall art, Displate is your personal Michelangelo. Unlike your average flimsy paper posters, these suckers are printed on metal. Sturdy. That's a sturdy item. What is it, a blast shield or a poster? With colors and detail that just pop right out at you, you'll definitely be kicking yourself for not grabbing one sooner. If you've ever tried hanging a regular poster, you'd know it's no fun. But with this plate, it's as easy as slapping a magnet on your fridge. No holes, no tools, no crying in frustration, just pure beauty and simplicity. And if you feel like swapping it for another one, boom, no problem. There's something for everyone. Whether you're a lover of Middle-earth, a FromSoft fanboy, a Carl Sagan enjoyer, or you want the Minions one, like me, click the link in the description below. It's a perfect time to get your own exclusive art and higher discounts up to 30% off. So, what are you waiting for? Now, where were we? Oh yeah, alien cults. So back in the subterranean society of Dominher, our interviewer decides that she's gonna try and sort out some of her own problems using the group's methods,
I don't know.
which may or may not be inadvisable.
Having never found a cure for my own mental health issues, I am prepared to try anything.
Anything?
Anything.
Like, just checking, we exhausted aspirin? I just don't know if Yogic Xenu is the next anything we should jump to. There's a lot of anythings out there.
Lucky for me, Antelope here has just the right handmade copy contraption called an intelligence machine to do just that.
Oh my god, the
Wait,
intelligence
so they live
machine,
underground?
huh?
Or they...
It's good branding on that one. So like, you can't say they're not a state-of-the-art facility with that kind of equipment. And here my local hospital just has a measly MRI scanner, and God knows this thing ain't half as fun. You gotta be all like this. But here, we're loose, we're free balling. Help, help! Saying that just enhances the fun.
My first treatment begins with Antelope.
Okay, every code can work in different way. For example, here, different kind of code, different treatment.
Ma'am, I can't help but notice you're just sort of waving that wand around haphazardly. You're over there playing Funky Town on the corkboard tax. I'm not trying to micromanage you, okay? There's a bit at stake here for me. I gotta make sure you're not gonna accidentally turn my brain into a toad. So just when you're handling the equipment, can you just pay a little more attention? Thank you.
And during this treatment, we have a sound.
Ooh, very
what
nice.
The hell
My
is it
adrenal
doing?
glands are really firing. Never have I been so calm!
They believe this specific frequency will attract the selves, their cosmic friends, to realign my organs or whatever else Antelope asks them to do.
Yeah, I don't think your kitty should go there either, but what am I supposed to do? Not follow orders when I hear that sweet, sweet buzz? I mean, she is definitely 100% dead already. This was bad advice. And of course, as is natural, the only thing that could possibly follow up a full body cleansing that good is time travel.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, time travel.
This is a gate, a portal. When you step in the other side, you change the memory inside your body.
Wow, that is amazing. I would go right through there right now, but I can't. I'll hit the wall. You see, I'll hit the wall there right now. Say, maybe you can even take it off the wall just for effect, you know? This is really awesome.
I think that we can recap the complete Celtic approach to a time technology.
Is it metaphorical or
It's
is
physical.
That's physical. See this? See that? Do I speak in limericks, tall tales, prose? What are you not getting? This is the real thing, honey. What does he mean it's physical? Wouldn't it be at the very most metaphysical? Like, what do you mean? You can't put your hand through this portal? Is that what you're getting at? This is about atoms vibrating at a fast or slow level. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So there is not a movement. You will be there. And you have to come back.
What if I get stuck?
If you get stuck, you have to change your own life and you create your own life there.
Oh.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's a problem. Admittedly, that is a kink we've yet to work out. So until we do that, I wouldn't visit like the Viking raids at Lindisfarne or something, because you might very well end up burying the lineage of a Viking for real. That will be your life. But like I said, there's pros and cons to the whole thing.
The most important aspect is not only to find a way to move in time, but also to come back to your.
Okay.
I love the reaction. She's just like, this is how you're choosing to sell this to me? Like, I agree, yes, we should find a way for me to come back if I use this. Maybe you should have done this research before you showed this off to me. Also, you're literally making this up. You could have told me anything here. You could have just said it was out of service. Why do you, it's the truth then? Because why would you lie? Why would you make yourself look bad like this? So after that festival of absolute elucidation, they go to like the organization's showroom, and he just goes on to give her a tour of their, I don't know what you'd call it, their merch collection. And ooh, mama, you better hope you got some liquid funds, because they got some hot properties you're gonna want.
This is the most advanced kind of Celtica. It's the high end of Celtica.
Now, I do not doubt, sir, that you are showing me your top shelf finest product, but even when you're buying the finest, you'd like to know what category of thing you're buying? You feel me? Also, I don't dare overstep, but there's a lot of very liberal use of hot glue and copper in this facility. I am to assume a man of your tastes would have used the finest adhesives from the fjords of Bergen? Good! I want to be like Timmy, who got into the Elmer's glue!
It's the high end of Selfica. This is a water inside that comes from the 60s.
What
from the 60s? Wait, they take the water from the 60s?
I don't want to stutter. This is a water inside. And it's none of that cheap knockoff 70s shit. This is that pure 60s water. I don't even know what it means here. I think he means there's water inside of these glass spheres on the thing, but how do you verify it's from the 60s? Because technically all water is like prehistoric, right? Isn't water all prehistoric? Yes, some water on Earth is prehistoric.
And we use that small drop of waters to energize the other waters. It's a sort of laptop, a computer of Selfica.
What? A laptop? That is not what I was expecting him to say. You are gonna look me dead in the eyes and tell me that's a laptop. Okay, I've done book reports back in school. I used Microsoft Word, and it did not install on that.
If I wanted to buy one,
yes.
How much would it be?
The average from 7,000 euros to 15,000 euros.
Mine is about 40,000.
Wow, okay. Well, whatever you're paying this lady, quite frankly, it's not enough.
I probably need a better
Interviewers
7.
losing interest, you know,
The
she's checking
dragon doesn't
emergency
do
exits,
much,
then from
and
downtown,
there's a meatball,
lady
you
comes in
probably
with a,
cut
yo,
it
you
off.
seen the sport model, though? You want to go around town be seen with that thing? I mean, okay.
I need a better
think
wig
you're
too.
poor.
It's hard to imagine anyone willing to pay
What a big
40,000 euros for something like this.
Be honest with me, though. Are you really surprised? Because we are living in the kind of world where people will pay $200 for a toaster that has the word smeg on it. And God knows smeg is a $15.99 kind of word. And you know people are paying just for the smeg, because this thing just has 2 regular bread hole slots. Oh, but don't worry, if that's not good enough for you, we've still got the $1,100 Dolce & Gabbana edition. You know, the one that's got the guy, the fucking face with 3 fucking legs coming out.
What?
Pay up, please. Yeah, we're definitely living in the kind of world where someone will pay 40,000 euros for this Da Vinci masterpiece, I'm afraid.
40,000
But if you are
euro
about to
for that
despair,
thing?
do not do that, because you too can be the owner of one of these fine items, seeing as they've got an online shop, where you can become the proud owner of amazing items such as Sphere, which ranges in price from 333 euros to 666 euros. It's a pretty big price differential on the Sphere. Why is that? Oh, it's because you can select from big or small Sphere. Like how big, how small? Like, will this fit in my room if I get big? We're getting big, we're going big, okay? We gotta go big. Okay, add to basket, and not allowed to proceed. Why? Oh, okay, this product is only available for those who have concluded the Sphere course and have permission of the responsabile. Is that a typo or is that just Italian? The responsabile of the Sphere course. So you know they're not just grifting, okay? They're not just giving unlicensed spheres willy-nilly. This is serious. Where can you take the Spheres course?
It's a Sphere course.
Okay, found it. Spheres course for communitarian citizens. 111 euros. Very reasonable.
100.
What happens if I buy this? Do they just send me a PDF or something? Are they gonna schedule me with their Sphere practitioner? You know what? I'm against this, because I feel like every free citizen should have the right to a Sphere. They're locking the Sphere behind a paywall, and I don't stand for that. Okay, I bought it. I like the Sphere! What are you gonna do about it, pussy? But as you might have guessed, it's not all just hot glue and rainbows out here. In fact, there are plenty of people who have been critical of Dom and her, accusing them of nefarious activities such as stealing all their money after they agreed to give the cult all their money. Who could have seen this coming?
And what sort of things did you have to give to Damanhur?
I gave to Damanhur my inheritance, around 500,000 euros.
Oh, come on. Quit complaining. So you had to pay your entire inheritance. What were you gonna do with that anyway? Set up a long-standing bed of wealth for your progeny? What are you, some kind of fruit?
One after another, people take the oath, swearing to give everything to Damanhur.
I mean, this is just insane to me. I know classically people will do all sorts of crazy stuff in the search for meaning and belonging, but usually there's like some veneer of deception involved. Like, you gotta at least have the decency to trick me into signing something with my own blood. What do you mean they're just asking these guys, hey, give me all your money to join a glorified YMCA? And they're like, okay. I mean, why have the extra steps of brainwashing and Kool-Aid, you know? Just ask debit or credit.
What does Damanhur mean to you?
Oh, Damanhur is my life, my dream.
And it always has been a very beautiful opportunity, many things happening.
See this? See that? That's called a country club. It's what you want, and it has a fee, but it's substantially lower than what they're charging here. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. So anyways, now we get to the point where the interviewer here is gonna put her money where her mouth is and try out some of Damanhur's activities. So she meets up with one of their main members, known as Labrador, and I can only really describe this lady as piercing.
Do you feel a change?
No.
A sensation? Does it tickle somewhere?
It tickles somewhere, what?
Lady, if there's something warm I'm feeling, it's because you made me pee myself. Why are you looking at me like that? You've got to stop. That has got to stop. You have no idea. This lady's like an absolute trip. At this point in the documentary, she just like hijacks the production, and I guess they just go with it because she's going.
Choose the standing stone you feel most attracted to. Lean your chest, breathing deeply, and then your stomach against the stone.
I just want to point out that you brought me here to choose between two different stones, and this are the options? Is this a trap? Are you telling me to get spiritually connected I gotta eat ass? Oh, I'm eating ass just to spite you, dog woman. Give me the bum. Give me the bum stone.
Smell the scent of the mineral. When the scent turns into a flavor in your mouth.
When it turns into a flavor. Okay, so it's not
The
even
sand turn into
the skin's
flavor?
just constantly flaking off. Fine notes of schist. That's nice.
You taste something in your mouth? I'm sure after a while, if you would do that more often, or you can do it also more often, because I guess there are also stones where you live.
Look, do what you gotta do, but please give all my spheres to my family. Don't leave them orbless. The conversion rate from euros is good. The moral of the story of this essentially is, get your cults on discount. Trust me. Every time. Pussy.
Dude, that's a wild cult. There are two stones. Like, if you choose the other one, does that mean you not consider a better? Like, is it like one stone better than other, or the one or not? I don't know. Is one stone better than the other, and the one stone lesser than the other one? It's oh. Oh. What? YouTuber got investigated by the FBI? Not things it actually.
Throughout the history of YouTube, many creators have found themselves under investigation by the FBI. Now, the reason for these inquiries has varied, from things as innocuous as a guy performing backyard science experiments, all
He's
the
a
way to
Mormon
more
woman
serious
or
matters
the
such as
Crimson
homicide and mass shooting
Drop.
investigations. Today, we'll be looking at some notable cases of this occurring in YouTube history. From the silly and humorous run-ins with the feds all the way to those with more disturbing elements. These are the YouTubers investigated by the FBI.
The purpose of my channel is not to go out there and show everybody how cool I am by kicking in doors and taking people to jail.
Picture this, you're a small YouTuber doing your thing, and you find a random account that has posted a comment that's, let's just say, concerning. So it could just be a shit post, a troll, you know, some nefarious shit stirrer trying to get people riled up. But this time you decide you're not taking any chances and you do your due diligence and report the comment to YouTube because something about it just didn't sit right with you, and you even report it to the FBI. And then, months later, you find out that the name of the account who made that comment had just gone on to commit a mass murder. This is the story of Ben the Bondsman and his report of mass shooter Nicholas Cruz. Ben the Bondsman, real name Ben Benight, is a small YouTuber from D'Iberville, Mississippi, with a little over 10,000 subscribers. He created his channel on December 11th of 2011 and has had over 2 million total views in his time on the platform. Ben's channel mostly centers around his work as a bail bondsman for AFAB bail bonds in D'Iberville, Mississippi. He's definitely not one of those fake channels who pretends to be a bondsman and hires actors to be his bounties. This dude is the real deal. A majority of his videos consist of Ben explaining what it's like to be a bounty hunter, while also trying to correct the cliches and stereotypes that tend to plague the bail bondsman occupation.
People have this idea that, you know, we're out there chasing these $1 million, $2 million bonds and making hundreds of $1,000s a year, and that's just not the case. Your average bond, in my area anyway, is anywhere between $1,500 and $10,000. I probably spent $100 of that in fuel and in skip tracing websites and different things like that. So you got 2 or 3 guys, because you never want to go on your own. You're gonna split $50 between 3 guys. There's no money in that.
The man also makes videos where he tells stories from the arrests that he has participated in and the danger that comes with those situations. Kind of like a story time video, if you will.
I asked the girl to stand up, and I start pulling my handcuffs out, and she flips out. I mean, she goes nuts. She jumps at me, I grab her, and the other male agent that's with me grabs the other side of her, and she's kicking and flailing. I'm having a hard time keeping a grip on her. I mean, this girl was cranked up on something. I mean, you could tell. She was high. I think it was meth.
However, it would be one particular incident that revolved around his YouTube channel that would get the FBI's attention. And this would center around a school shooter. The eventual Parkland shooter, Nicholas Cruz, had found Ben the Bondsman's videos at one point and actually left a comment on September 24th of 2017. The comment was by an account named Nicholas Cruz and said, quote, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter," unquote. Ben claims that he saw the comment through a push notification on his phone, so he never really saw which video it was that Nicholas had commented on. But at the time, he found it worrisome and felt the need to report it. So he screenshotted it, reported the post to YouTube, and contacted the FBI. First, he sent an email to the feds, which apparently resulted in error, so he instead connected with the agency by phone. And the very next day had 2 FBI agents standing in his office, who would go on to take all the information that Ben could give them, including the screenshot. Unfortunately, Ben really couldn't provide any more detail to the FBI due to it literally just being one comment, and at the time, Nicholas Cruz was just a random name to Ben and pretty much everyone else. After the report, it would be up to the authorities to look into it. Fast forward to February 14th, 2018, and the name Nicholas Cruz went from the random name of a YouTube account to the name of the shooter responsible for the Parkland shootings, where he entered Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Broward County while wearing a gas mask and opened fire on a mass of students after pulling the fire alarm. Nicholas would claim the lives of 17 people during this incident. That day, the FBI would then immediately get back in contact with Ben, one from his local office and one from the Miami field office. This is a voicemail transcript that Ben has made public. It's a voicemail left by the FBI, and as you can see, the iPhone has transcribed it here, and it's probably not perfect, but I'll still read it. "Hi, Mr. Benight. My name is Ryan. For him to see how you're doing in Miami, Florida, just want to call you, with you in the past about a complaint that you had made. Somebody make a comment on your YouTube channel. Just want to follow up with you on that, ask you a question. I was hoping to come up if you wouldn't mind. Give me a ring. I'm getting my cell phone number is..." You get the idea. Ben then emailed the Miami agent everything he had, which was simply just that one screenshot. And then the agent from Mississippi showed up to ask the typical questions, to which Ben answered step by step on, everything he did when he witnessed the comment that was on his YouTube channel. After his discussions with the FBI, Ben would publish a video to his channel detailing everything that he had went through with them. In the video, Ben said that he would like to think that the FBI was already investigating Nicholas, and that's why they got in contact with him so quickly.
I would like to think that they were already investigating this guy, and they
I don't know why, just a random comment on the video, and somehow he turned out to be, like an actual
me so quickly. I wish I could have given him more information, but it was just a comment on my channel,
Yeah, like it's just
a
random
generic name, or the person's name, and
What happened?
They think it was related, so they came out to talk to me.
Ben then finished the video wishing that the info could have prevented the tragedy from happening. But after all, it was just a comment, and Ben had no idea who Nicholas Cruz was at that point, so there's really not much he could have done. It was in the Fed's hand at that point.
I guess it's not something I'd rather not know. I wish that the information could have prevented this from happening, but it was a generic comment, and you know, people say things, keyboard commandos type things all the time that they don't mean, but I'm not sure that there's really anything the FBI could have done with that information other than keep an eye on somebody. So, I don't know.
Many of the comments on the video reflect how crazy this was, given that in any video online, there's tons of edgy comments posted. Just like the luck of reporting this one, and it just so happens to be related to an actual killer, is crazy. There are also a few comments that were frustrated by the FBI's apparent lack of initiative. Not going to lie, you see so many edgy teens saying stupid shit on the internet that you start to become desensitized to all of it. I can't say I would have reported it at the time, but I'm glad you did, obviously, in hindsight. The FBI dropped the ball on this when you first made the report. Good for you for reporting it. God bless us all. Later, a statement released by Jackson FBI Field Office spokesman Brett Carr read, "In September of 2017, the FBI received information about a comment made on a YouTube channel. The comment said, quote, 'I'm going to be a professional school shooter,' unquote. No other information was included in the comment which would indicate a particular time, location, or the true identity of the person who posted the comment. The FBI conducted database reviews and other checks, but was unable to further identify the person who posted the comment. Ben absolutely did the right thing, and it's a shame that the FBI wasn't.
Because like a lot of police cannot enter your house right away. They need a warrant to do it. Same with the FBI, they kind of need a warrant, a federal warrant from a judge to even do anything to you. I think, especially when it comes to like a predator case or any kind of like possessive SEM, they need like an actual evidence that you have those stuff on your PC, and they need to put those evidence out to the judge or like your local PD or basically like your state something, and then they're able to access your home and confiscate your stuff. So yeah, basically the whole situation it boils down to like possessing like some stuff. It basically is the same thing if you see someone who is racist, who is like a massive racist in front of you, but you cannot attack him, right? If you hit him, he can sue you for you attacking him. So yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Able to track down the account owner before the incident in Parkland, but good on the guy for making the report nonetheless. The YouTuber would receive a lot of attention from the media due to this situation. NBC, New York Times, BuzzFeed, etc. And there would be many criticisms made towards the feds, given that there were warning signs. As for Ben, he would continue to upload to his channel, his last upload being on June 17th of 2022. And as for Nicholas Cruz,
I don't think
he was
sentenced
sentenced to serve life in
unless I
prison
play a
without any
JoJo
chance of
class.
parole.
I'm planning to do it, but I'm not sure if even do anything.
Whoa, man, how did you find my top secret FBI commissioned video editing bunker?
Suspect. Well, that's because this man is named Sam Hyde. He's a...
Makes sounds and it's
what the hell,
Sam?
Sam Hyde?
And I haven't even shown you the magnetic base yet. So to wrap things up here, Fume is not a vape. It is not electronic. There is no battery. There is no vapor, no smoke, no nicotine. It's literally just a cool device to taste flavored air out of. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you could be their next success story. For a limited time, use my code WAVYWebsurf to get a free topper with your Fume order. The topper is this like rubber thing that comes on there that's not naturally on there, and for you chewers, you're gonna want one of these. Head to tryfume.com and use code WAVYWebsurf or scan the QR code on screen to get your free Fume topper when you order your Journey Pack today.
For the sake of argument, if you come at me,
okay, they established summon a sentry Sam Hyde got I
Here's
kind
a
of
question, though, we've seen all over social media. Many folks posting this
damn.
photo of a blonde man holding a gun, asking why we're not showing the real photos of the suspect. Well, that's because this man is named Sam Hyde. He's a YouTube comedian.
Strangely enough, I believe that this is the first time that I've ever discussed Sam Hyde here on the channel, but fuck it, why not start with his run-ins with the feds? Anyone who has spent any bit of time on websites like Reddit, 4chan, or Twitter have likely run into this particular photo. It's an image that has been used by cheeky internet trolls for many years now to falsely implicate Sam Hyde of committing mass shootings. A form of gallows humor that has inadvertently led to Sam himself being visited by the FBI at least once. So how did the Sam Hyde shooter meme insanity all begin? Well, internet trolls attempting to trick the mainstream media into making false reports has become something of a pastime here on the web. A common trope you'll see is that after a mass casualty incident, trolls will collaboratively spam media outlets with false tips containing images of popular social media figures, using doctored posts to make it look like the social media figure was responsible or was a victim of the violence. You've seen it done to Anthony Fantano, Review Bruh, Wings of Redemption. But this trend was really started en masse by fans of Sam Hyde and his comedy troupe $1 Million Extreme, or MDE. The earliest archive I can find of Sam being associated with mass shootings comes from this anonymous post published to 4chan's R9K board back in 2015. It involves some cantankerous fan of Sam posing as him, essentially taking credit for the 2015 Colorado Springs Planned Parenthood shooting. Hey R9K, I'm currently on the way to Colorado Springs and I intend to take care of this liberal shithole myself. America is turning into a liberal shithole with Black Lives Matter and more shit like Planned Parenthood. It's time someone took a stand and did this. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do, but it'll be magical and will have an impact on Obama's future policies. It's time someone brought back conservative values. I will be the one making it happen. If you live in Colorado Springs, don't go out tomorrow. This was like the proto version of the modern Sam being the shooter meme, you know, attaching Sam's likeness to some politically charged schizo post alluding to violence. You get the idea. Now, with the genesis out of the way, the Sam Hyde shooter meme really began popping off in 2016, after MDE released a YouTube video showcasing Sam and fellow MDE member Charles Carroll shooting a small arsenal of guns, with the two cracking ominous tongue-in-cheek jokes and Sam making various clips about self-defense situations and allusions to violence in a sarcastic tone.
Like this. I see you got nice knees. I'm gonna have to back down. You're an alpha male. I don't want to fight.
If I had to defend myself outside your apartment, I'm watching you through your window, and I have to shoot through a crowd of people to defend myself. It's 2 a.m. It's a self-defense situation.
Of course, it's Sam Hyde.
I'm not gonna be happy about the devastation, but I will be happy that I've defended my own life. This whole video has been a joke, John Oliver. But if it came down to it, Hollywood with this, and I don't care. I'll use this like a microphone. Proper safety. Check if it's loaded.
Imagery and video from the shooting range would provide excellent fodder for Sam's unhinged fans and trolls alike to send to the press after real-world mass shootings, furthering the idea originally conceived in that R9K post. Soon, Sam would, online, find himself being falsely implicated as a German mass shooter, the Oregon State Community College shooter, and most notably the Sutherland Springs church shooter. The Sutherland Springs situation actually involved trolls tricking a Texas congressman named Vincent Gonzalez to mislabel Sam Hyde as the shooter, who would then go on to report Sam being responsible for the act live on CNN, while the real killer was still unknown.
It was reported to me that he's actually not from this community. Apparently, his name was released as Sam Hyde. That was the name I was given.
There was the Las Vegas shooting in 2017. Sam did that one too. The Waukesha, Wisconsin incident where a driver mowed down a large group during a Christmas parade in 2021. Yep, that was Sam Hyde. Hell, this twisted meme had become so pervasive, the perpetrator of the 2022 Buffalo, New York grocery store shooting actually used pictures of Sam Hyde in his manifesto as a nod to the fucked up joke. Oh, and of course we can't forget there's the whole Ghost of Kiev thing, where internet trolls just made up this fucking fake story about Sam Hyde being a Ukrainian fighter jet pilot that killed a bunch of Russians when the Ukraine-Russia conflict popped off. Sam Hyde just kept getting away with it. Now, naturally, considering the pervasiveness of this meme and its ability to spread misinformation, you know, potentially interfere with the efforts of authorities to identify real shooters, it has gotten the attention of the FBI before. And mostly due to the actions of some of his crazier fans, Sam claims that he has been visited and investigated by the feds because of it. In a Hyde Wars video posted to YouTube August 4th of 2019, Sam revealed that he had gotten a couple of visits from the FBI that were mostly centered around, you know, posts of the infamous blonde-haired, black shirt, rifle-wielding image that was commonly used in the Sam Hyde shooter meme.
We talk a lot about FBI stories. I don't know if you're comfortable, but have you ever?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of visits. Yeah, mostly surrounding the shooter meme, which is strange that they have questioned me multiple times
and haven't figured it out yet.
They didn't arrest me for my Twitter account or anything like that.
You're just like, you got the wrong guy, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I went through and showed him the shooter meme like on my phone and stuff.
Yeah, that must be pretty annoying.
It's really not that annoying. I think it's sort of interesting. If I had a 9-to-5 job, it probably would have ruined my life. But it's not as annoying as people would imagine, I think.
To this day, Sam is associated with almost every mass
that's
shooting
such
event,
an
a
iconic
trend
photo.
that doesn't seem to be
Such an
dying
iconic.
anytime soon. At the time of me writing this video, a mass shooting in Georgia just happened, and I've already seen multiple Sam Hyde shooter memes go viral. You guys, you just can't be quenched, can you? Now, you might be surprised to find that the shooter meme was not actually the only matter Sam has been visited by the FBI for.
He
And
was
this
visited by all
other
the things?
particular instance was more disturbing for him personally, it seems. So apparently the story goes that Sam got a call saying that he needed to meet with agents from the FBI. Sam naturally figured this, like the shooter stuff, was simply the feds doing their due diligence regarding online postings from him or his fans. However, what the FBI would say in the interview caught the comedian completely off guard and resulted in a subsequent panic attack.
The FBI, they called and they were like, we want to interview you. And I assumed that it was because of the How to Bomb book title, or because the website had a cursor that was a crosshair of Obama or something. But I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna punk the FBI on video. This is gonna be so funny. I'm gonna have a hidden camera rolling and I'm gonna clown the FBI. This is gonna be so funny. So I roll up to the FBI place, and they're like, do you have any contact with children? And I'm like, instantly, like the most fear I've ever felt.
During an interview about the incident, Sam states he was caught so off guard that he essentially froze and looked super sus, you know, saying all the wrong shit after being asked if you talk to kids.
Instant balls inside body, like fear.
That's fucking terrifying.
They're like, have you had any contact with children? And I immediately knew that it was something that's like not what you want to hear. I didn't understand what they meant.
Nuclear
They
war.
meant like, are you talking to children? And I'm like, I don't know. I make YouTube videos.
Oh man.
And I'm saying this as I'm sitting there, like my thought process, because I'm trying to figure out what they're asking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I make YouTube videos. They're like, so what kind of YouTube videos?
Oh my god.
Like, I'm making like child YouTube videos or something. Well, I mean, I talk to fans sometimes.
Oh my god.
I'm saying all the wrong shit because I'm literally trying to think of what the fuck is happening. She had submitted a tip that I was making and selling child pornography. So she got me.
Sam claims that a disgruntled ex-girlfriend had sent the FBI a false tip, allegedly claiming that the man had been filming and distributing CP, a claim that seems to have never been substantiated. Sam continues to be a polarizing figure on the internet, and despite his controversial nature, is probably more popular online now than at any other point in his career, despite a quarter of America thinking he's a serial school shooter that has gotten away with hundreds of murders and dozens of violent terrorist attacks.
There's 100 uses for the hangman's knife.
So most of you watching my channel are likely familiar with a YouTuber known as Rusty Cage. Rusty is a musician, writer, vlogger, and performance artist known for many things here on YouTube. But for the normies out there, you might remember him as the Knife Game song guy.
I have all my fingers. Knife goes chop, chop, chop. If I miss the spaces in between, my fingers will come off.
Rusty has always been something of an edgy figure here on YouTube.
That actually a really catchy
I
song.
use that term respectfully. He's an authentic creator known for pushing boundaries in a YouTube algorithm that is by design intended to shape creators into an ad-friendly, brand-safe mold. Rusty just doesn't do that. Like, his latest brilliant idea was to make a multi-part series about him building a fucking guillotine in his backyard, and then finish the series off with a live stream wherein he staged an execution of himself using the device. Insane.
Just a while.
What the actual?
Thanks to Rusty's affinity for the edge, the man has found himself in a few controversies over the years.
Yeah, like
which
no way
brings
the-
us to
the
the
police
time
are-
he ended up in a law enforcement report about Nicholas Cruz and the Parkland mass shooting. On January 3rd, 2019, Rusty would upload a video titled, "I'm listed in a school shooting police report." In this video, Rusty explains that a police report had been made public documenting the cell phone records of
insanely
Nicholas
wild
Cruz, who was
content.
the individual responsible for the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida. The police report specifically showed all of Cruz's internet searches on his cell phone chronologically leading up to the Parkland shooting on February 14th, 2018. And one of those searches, well, it was a Rusty Cage video.
Well, I can tell you that I was quite shocked to find out that my videos were specifically listed on this official police report from Florida's law enforcement website. It makes clear that Nicholas Cruz was a Knife Game song fan. Are you frickin' kidding me?
I mean, what else would he be watching, right? It seems Nicholas Cruz, the killer, was habitually listening to Rusty's various Knife Game songs. Now, Rusty believes that the authorities singled out his thumbnails in this report to specifically make a point, with them using grotesque and violent thumbnails from Rusty's channel to make it seem to layman viewers or readers of the report that Nicholas Cruz was watching gory and satanic-looking videos on YouTube, despite the fact that Rusty's content contained no such gore and was all satirical in nature. Rusty goes on to lambaste the rest of the report, criticizing the authorities for ignoring legit red flags, as well as pointing out that the guy was already on the FBI watch list and being surveilled by them.
So whenever he looks up, can I buy a pistol grip shotgun in Florida, followed by how long does it take for a cop to show up at a school shooting? No one thought to do anything about that. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that this kid was going to a school. Everything is laid out. His plan is laid out in his search history, and no one did shit. The FBI didn't do shit. It just makes me so mad. And now, before we continue, I have to make perfectly clear that I completely denounce shooting and scooters. Scooters, once again, I'll say it, they are f***ing pathetic losers. But what is this, people? After he watches pornography, what do you think he looked up next? If you guessed the Knife Game song, then you're absolutely correct. What the fuck, man?
Almost like the Knife Game song was the final influencing factor on the guy committing the shooting or something. Rusty also begrudgingly notes that right after Nicholas Cruz viewed the Knife Game song, he
How does
immediately
someone
went
rate
on to
a game
search
I
Parkland, Florida Dollar Tree, and school shooter on Google, and then finished his search by looking up Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People, which is a song that many people say is about a school shooter. Later, Rusty speculated that he may be put on some sort of watch list due to being listed in this report, and wondered if the FBI or other authorities would be keeping their eyes on him, all because of some school shooter looking at his videos before going on a rampage. Now, as far as I can tell, there never was any sort of ramifications, really, for Rusty appearing in this report. And, you know, there shouldn't be, because Rusty had nothing to do with the fucking shooting, okay? Let's make that clear. He simply made a satirical and creative video that got a lot of traction, and let's be real, statistically, there is a chance that some psycho out there will watch your video before doing something fucked up. I mean, while we're on the subject, this sort of thing has happened to me in a way. My channel name showed up in a police report in Indiana, which involved a guy who tried suicide by cop and apparently watched one of my videos shortly before doing it.
Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get on your knees.
Now!
An Indiana man is shot and killed by police after watching a Law and Crime Network video and researching suicide by cop.
Get your hands up where I can see them. Keep your hands up and walk back to me now.
According to the Sheriff's Department report, wavy web surf was one of the last things this guy looked up before perpetrating his act. Not as crazy as Rusty's situation, but yeah, I get it, bro.
It's kind of
Shout out to
scary.
Rusty. Watch his Guillotine series. It's fucking amazing.
Someone's an angel of the cosmos. Oh, the FPS Russia.
Anyone with a cursory knowledge of YouTube history will most likely be familiar with the legendary YouTube channel that is FPS Russia. Hosted by YouTube Call of Duty commentator and PKA podcast host Kyle Myers, the FPS Russia channel became a household name in the early 2010s, posting dozens upon dozens of jaw-dropping firearms-related videos. These videos involving Kyle speaking with a hammed-up Russian accent, blasting just about everything he could find using his vast arsenal of weapons and explosive rounds.
Hello my friends, it's FPS Russia again. Today I thought it would be fun if I showed you my top 3 weapons that I would want in an apocalypse scenario.
God dang.
Told you they were flammable.
For a time, Kyle was a larger-than-life figure and one of the most popular creators on the entire platform. But eventually his penchant for destruction would catch the ire of the federal government when someone close to his production was killed. Kyle found himself under full investigation and eventually behind bars. In 2011, only 14 months after his first upload, FPS Russia hit 1 million subscribers, becoming at the time one of the rare honorees who hit the 7-figure goal in subscriber count, becoming synonymous with names like Epic Mealtime. Most of his videos were filmed on his family farm in Georgia and consisted of Kyle showcasing the various weapons at his disposal: miniguns, gold-plated AK-47s, 50 caliber BMG rifles, anti-aircraft cannons, and an
like,
AA-12.
no wonder people...
Typically during his videos, Kyle explained the history behind the weapon as well as its purpose before going full-on destruction derby. Think Hick-Hawk 4.5 combined with Whistling Diesel, if that makes any fucking sense to you all. It makes sense in my head, okay? Kyle then demonstrated his weapons using dummy targets like fruit, bottles, zombie mannequins, and propane tanks, making for quite the spectacle indeed. Kyle's success on YouTube was for a variety of factors, but I think it could be summed up as, hey, you know all these cool guns and crazy shit that you can blow up in popular video games from the time like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Left 4 Dead, etc.?
Nice.
Well, this guy is doing it in real life, and he has a Russian accent, albeit a fake one. The man was committed to entertainment, putting his life on the line on numerous occasions to make what he saw as good videos.
How did you activate Sandstorm? Oh, god damn. You almost
Kyle's
died there,
channel
yeah.
would continue to skyrocket. As of today, he's closing in on 7 million subscribers with almost 1 billion total views. At the time, FPS Russia was the third biggest series on YouTube, with Kyle becoming the 10th most subscribed to channel in late 2012. During the rise of FPS Russia, Kyle would also become a part of an incredibly successful podcast called PKA, with Woody's gamertag and Wings of Redemption. But that is where I'll cease the glazing of Kyle Myers, as all of this success would eventually be halted by an FBI investigation. You see, FPS Russia had a whole team working for him that helped procure the artillery and permits that he used to make his videos. One such gentleman was 32-year-old Keith Ratliff of Frankfort, Kentucky. He was a co-owner of FPS Industries, a good friend of Kyle, as well as a member of the FPS Russia production team. And on January 3rd, 2013, this man would be found dead by a gunshot wound to the head. His body found on the premises of FPS Industries, where the man had been living in an apartment that was owned by the FPS Russia company. After Keith's body was found, the death was immediately reported to the authorities, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation would be called to aid the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in their investigation. Quote, "There were no signs of forced entry at the business, and surveillance equipment along with some firearms had been taken. There did not appear to be a struggle of any kind, and based on the scene, Ratliff died while he was working. Ratliff may have been killed by an individual that he trusted. Although there were firearms found at the crime scene, they weren't linked directly to Keith's murder. Naturally, after Keith's death, there would be a full investigation on Kyle, and there were suspicions from internet sleuths as well, as a wide array of conspiracy theories suggesting that he did it popped up. However, there has never been any concrete evidence found that concluded FPS Russia or Kyle was behind the murder of his friend Keith Ratliff. The death of Keith still remains something of a mystery to this very day, shockingly enough. Other theories online suggest Keith may have been killed by an arms dealer. One of Keith's jobs at FPS Russia was to legally acquire weapons that were used in the show. Some speculate that Keith may have ventured into the world of illegal firearms dealing and crossed paths with a shady figure. Though again, there's not much evidence to support this idea, and it just seems to be people with big imaginations trying to figure out some sort of solution to this mystery. Whatever the case, despite no evidence linking Kyle to the death, GBI inquiries around the matter opened the door for other government agencies to do a full-on audit of Kyle. On March 29th of 2013, the ATF and FBI launched a joint investigation on 2 properties in Georgia that were associated with FPS Kyle. It seemed, despite not being able to directly link or find motive of Kyle killing his friend, the feds weren't keen on the activities taking place on the FPS Russia YouTube channel. Both agencies suspected that Kyle's FPS Russia operation may not have been entirely above board and questioned the legality of the firearms in his possession. Federal agents and sheriff's officers raided the Myers family property in Royston, Georgia, as well as the 60-acre farm in Livonia, Georgia, that was owned by Kyle's father and was infamously used in most of his videos. Now, there were contradictory statements provided on why this investigation was pursued. ATF would say vaguely that it was due to his business practices. I've even read that the ATF suspected Kyle was making his own explosives, which would be illegal if true. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office had a different story, saying that this investigation was due to the suspected murder of Kyle Myers' business partner, Keith Ratliff. Needless to say, whether this investigation was due to Kyle's business practices or the Keith Ratliff murder, neither side would find anything conclusive, as the authorities eventually determined that no illegal explosives were found and therefore no arrests would be made. Now, for a few years, it was back to normal. Kyle seemed to have escaped any serious penalty from law enforcement entities, but this wouldn't be the end of his legal troubles. In all reality, after their initial inquiry, the feds had been watching Kyle like a hawk, waiting for any justification to strike again. And you might not expect what their eventual foot in the door would be.
4 years later, in August of 2017,
Oh, yeah, he went to
Kyle's
jail, right?
residence was once again raided, but this time they would find something. The authorities tracked that Kyle had received delivery of approximately 25 grams of butane honey oil, also known as hash oil, which is a marijuana concentrate, and he got this through the United States Postal Service, delivered straight to his residential house in Carnesville, Georgia. The GBI, the ATF, and Franklin County authorities again executed a search warrant at Kyle's residence. There they found numerous firearms, drug paraphernalia, and the butane honey oil, all of which were seized during the search. On August 7th, 2017, Kyle was arrested and charged with felony possession of a Schedule I substance with the intent to distribute and a misdemeanor possession of drug-related objects. Also, 50 of his firearms were confiscated due to the Gun Control Act of 1968, which prohibits illegal drug users from possessing firearms, and he was charged with possession of a firearm by a drug user, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, and maintaining a drug premises, but those charges were eventually dismissed. Now, Kyle was actually able to beat the state, reportedly due to them issuing a bad warrant. But the feds picked up where the state left off, and Kyle wouldn't be able to escape the government. In 2019, Kyle would plead guilty and was sentenced on June 19th of 2019 to serve 2 years of probation and 56 days in prison within the Federal Correctional Institution in Talladega, Alabama. After serving his time, Kyle would speak about his experience in prison on the PKA podcast.
That's kind of bullshit.
So Kyle, anything new in your world?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've had a real interesting time. I spent the last 56 days. Talladega Nights, legend of FPS Kyle, just having a real good time, meeting new interesting people, learning all sorts of new and interesting techniques and skills and tactics.
Nice. Lifelong friends, I hope.
I mean, I'm gonna see if I'm allowed to contact some of these people. We'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, made a couple of real good friends in there. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk to them because we're both felons, but I'm gonna find out. Worked out a ton, did a lot of running, did a lot of dieting. I lost 35 pounds. Had a real good time. It was a goddamn nightmare is what it was, Taylor.
As for FPS Russia, Kyle has not uploaded a video on that channel since April 16th of 2016. Many have speculated that this was due to the fallout of the Keith Ratliff murder. Others suggested that it's likely Kyle couldn't monetize his videos anymore due to YouTube cracking down on gun content. However, Kyle would actually explain the reason for the lack of uploads, saying that it was due to him being a convicted felon now, and that he couldn't obtain any firearms, especially the heavy artillery that he was known for using in videos.
The second is, what's the outcome of that long term, Kyle, when you come out of this? Are you, I know, because I know you're a big firearms guy,
I always think it's a...
Yeah, I'm a felon, I can't get guns.
It's a nightmare to get a...
Yeah, until they pass some sort of law. I think eventually like that'll come full circle, but who knows? Or maybe some state will refuse to observe federal law.
But you can get
diamond
from killing boss.
Like I'm willing to do any of the three.
Really, the only place that Kyle is active online these days is the PKA podcast. And sadly, there haven't been any new updates on the Keith Ratliff murder investigation, and the killer is still at large.
Today we're going to be trying to make lava for ourselves by melting down some rocks. Then we're going to pour it in the pool.
Wait, it's the backyard scientist. I actually never seen this guy.
The backyard scientist, real name Kevin Kohler, is a veteran YouTuber known for his videos where he records himself performing intricate and sometimes dangerous science experiments and then uploads them. Kevin has been doing this for quite a long time, and unsurprisingly, one of his stunts resulted in a visit from the feds. Kevin's first video was uploaded April 1st of 2013, and his views would gradually increase until about December of 2014, when his video called Molten Aluminum vs. Toaster got over 1 million views and his channel would explode. The man would eventually hit 1 million subscribers in April of 2016, and it's been on the up ever since. As of now, his channel has almost 6 million subs and nearly 1 billion views. His videos consist of experiments such as exploding arrows, pouring lava in his pool, pouring liquid nitrogen in a pool, gas powering regular items, as well as other science/chemistry experiments. One experiment was so crazy he nearly killed his girlfriend with a rocket-powered fidget spinner.
First of all, you'll notice that there's only 2 rockets left on the fidget spinner. Their first rocket broke free and made a beeline right towards my car. It hit the wheel and then started ping-ponging around on the inside of the wheel well. The third rocket exploded instantly as soon as I lit it, and unfortunately it was pointed at Sandra, and it shot like a piece of gunpowder right through the plastic table, and it ended up under her ankle, and she was sitting cross-legged. So she's totally fine. She just doesn't want to play with the rockets anymore, and I totally understand that.
He also made a military-grade weapon that was allegedly stolen by the United States government.
What? How the fuck is it? I guess stop. Is it like a fucking rocket? Like, this is...
I could tell it worked right away by the sound of the fireball, and I could see a flaming propane tank spinning away. I am so glad that this finally worked. Like, everything was going so good, and then 4 rockets missed right in a row. It all worked out in the end, though, and it was totally worth it.
Now, these kind of experiments can sometimes put one's life at risk.
Yeah.
And not only that, they can sometimes brush up against illegality. I mean, if you see Kevin's videos, he's experimenting with some volatile shit, and it would only be a matter of time before the government became interested in his work. On June 28th of 2021, on the very first episode of his podcast called The Safety Third, which featured other creators like William Osman, Nile Red, Alan Penn, and Peter Sripple, the backyard scientist would talk about his experience being visited by the FBI over his projects.
Have you ever had, like, the government show up to your house and tell you to take the videos down?
No, I've never spoken to the government.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yes, I have. Okay, so here's what happened. I'm sitting home. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably playing video games. And I hear a knock at my door. And I go up to the door, and there's these 2 guys in suits standing at the door.
The FBI.
And I open the door, and they do exactly what they do in the movies. They pull up the wallet and it flips down.
They actually did that? That's
FBI.
hilarious.
The agents then asked the YouTuber why he thought they were there.
I wasn't prepared for this, but they said, "Why do you think we're here today?"
Why did you
Oh
think?
my god. Are you kidding me?
Now, before all of this, the backyard scientist had done a video in which he had exploded sodium bullets and thought that the legality of the experiment may have been questionable. So he actually got in contact with the ATF prior to doing it to ask if the experiment would be okay. And from what Kevin said, they weren't really much help and just basically quoted the law back to him. So Kevin figured that's why the agents had come, but when the YouTuber brought up the sodium bullets, the FBI agents were just like, the what? The FBI then gave the reason why they were there. It turns out Kevin had made a video on how to make hydrogen sulfide gas with aluminum and sulfur, which creates a solid, and when you put this in water, releases hydrogen sulfide gas, which is just as potent and toxic as hydrogen cyanide. Basically poison. And it turns out somebody in Australia had gotten busted for trying to bring this stuff on a plane. And although Kevin doesn't know if his video was referenced or not in this investigation, the FBI thought it best to give the backyard scientist a visit due to his video pretty much
He
showing
actually
people
created
how to make it. Now, I can't find the video anywhere on YouTube, so I'm assuming they either requested for him to take it down or he took it down on his own volition. But just know, there was essentially a guide on how to make a hydrogen cyanide adjacent gas, just on his channel. Later, Kevin would be visited a second time by the authorities, this time by a bomb squad. The YouTuber had reportedly been shooting a potato cannon in a county park, but the visit was more of a courtesy than anything else, as authorities were just letting him know that it could get him in trouble, if things got out of hand, of course. Regardless, it seems like if you're any sort of science YouTuber where you do dangerous experiments on camera, you're going to get visited by the authorities at some point. Whether it's because you're ordering suspicious things online that make it look like you're creating and distributing meth, or it looks like you're just trying to build a fucking bomb and blow up the neighborhood. The feds seem to keep an eye on these science channels, so if you're thinking about launching an extreme-leaning one, just be careful.
Did make something
and
like
knock at the door and open it was 2 FBI agents, and they asked me, "Do you know why we're here?" I said no, and they said Anita Sarkeesian.
Mr. Repzion is a veteran commentary and drama YouTuber who has covered much during his nearly decade and a half of publishing videos here. While most remember Repzion for his heavy coverage of controversial YouTuber Onision, Repzion was also quite vocal during the shitstorm that was Gamergate, with the man making numerous videos criticizing progressive video games journalist Anita Sarkeesian. However, despite Repzion's conflict with the woman, at the end of the day, he never wanted any actual harm to come to her. So then, Why was Mr. Repzion visited by the FBI regarding online death threats issued towards Anita? On March
Because
18,
Anita fucks that death
2015,
threats, so yeah.
Repzion uploaded a video titled, "The FBI visited me today. Anita Sarkeesian does not deserve threats." In the video, Repzion explains that his father had gotten a knock at the door and found the FBI standing in the doorway requesting the presence of his son. When the FBI learned of his place of residence, they visited his house and asked him if he knew why they had visited.
I had a knock at my door. My dad gave me a call and said the FBI was at the house, and he gave me my home address where I'm living right now. And I waited and got a knock at the door and opened it. It was 2 FBI agents, and they asked me, "Do you know why we're here?" I said no, and they said Anita Sarkeesian.
So reportedly what happened was Anita had announced that she had planned on giving a speech at the Utah State University Center for Women and Gender sometime in October of 2014. But that event was apparently canceled after someone had sent an email.
Anita, this woman is the reason why so many video games so bad recently. Oh my fucking god. I could easily say so many shit about it, but I won't. If you know, you know. That is the catalyst of why the recent video game so bad.
Threatening to shoot up the place if they didn't cancel the engagement, and it turned out that this anonymous person signed their email as Mr. Repzion and also signing it with the word Gamergate, basically attempting to maliciously frame Mr. Repzion for issuing the threat. The email was apparently written with racist and derogatory slurs that FBI agents would read to Repzion, who was apparently taken aback as, you know, he claims that he didn't write it. Repzion was upset that the FBI had to waste their time and resources tracking him down, but said he understood why they had to do their due diligence in regard to the threat. The person had made a threat on someone's life by signing Repzion's name, and the agents had to follow their leads.
I did not write that email. I told the agents that. I said that they're welcome to take all of my hard drives if they want. They can do if they actually think that I did that, and they said no, they don't need to. They just wanted to talk to me about the threat that I made, or the impersonator made.
In his video, Repzion gave a big fuck you to the guy that sent the email, as they had wasted the FBI's time and it also caused the YouTuber quite a bit of distress. Nobody wants to be told the FBI was looking for them.
Repzion, after that threat in October, fuck you. Sincerely, please don't do that. Like, you're wasting the FBI's time to come talk to me on something that I did not say.
In the Reddit thread covering the video, many Redditors would be skeptical of Repzion's story and would ask for more proof, but that's more or less just Redditors being Redditors. Like, let's be honest, it's not too far out of the question that some schizo on the internet sent this email to Anita Sarkeesian, okay? Like, that probably did happen. Repzion would continue making content after this incident and would find quite a bit of success with his coverage of Onision a few years later. Recently, he's made some comments about retiring from YouTube for good, but as of recently, he's still posting.
You ready to fly, boy?
Obviously.
You ready? Tell me when.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Being a notable YouTuber can come with enormous benefits. You're basically famous, you're more likely rich, and if you play your cards right, you can afford a large house, a nice car, be debt-free, so on and so forth. But there can be some drawbacks too. Parasocial fans and stalkers are most certainly a thing, and their obsession with the creator can get so destructive that authorities get involved. Authorities like the FBI. This is the story of Roman Atwood and his family's bizarre stalker. 41-year-old Ohio native Roman Atwood is a massive YouTuber with multiple channels, including Roman Atwood, Roman Atwood Vlogs, and Roman Atwood Podcast, with all 3 channels combined having over 25 million subscribers. He's been on the grind since 2006, where he first produced a series of DVDs called The Nerd Herd, which were actually sold at Warped Tour events. He then transitioned to a sketch comedy career on YouTube that eventually turned into a prank channel, and thus his YouTube empire was born. Throughout the decades, he released numerous prank videos that would obtain millions of views, and he would also set up a vlog channel that was centered around his family that began on August 13th of 2013.
That's my boy Noah. We are headed up to meet Dennis and Kevin to talk about this week's pranks because we are way behind on pranks. But we're gonna bang them out. Probably have 2 of them for you this week. It'll be awesome. Super excited. Are you excited?
What?
About the pranks.
I don't know what they are.
I don't either.
One of his more notorious pranks with his family would be a prank in which he pretended to throw his child off the 2nd story of his house while the mother was coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
The video is titled "Killing My Own Kid Prank." As of today, it's cultivated almost 59 million views.
Yo,
This Spider-Man, where did you get that outfit?
Say it's new.
Whoa. Let me see.
Oh, no.
He's ready to fight. Caners, you want to fly?
Yeah.
Okay. Go with Noah. Be really quiet. We're gonna go so high.
Oh no.
You ready to fly, boy? You ready?
Oh, the soundtrack. He like Jackass.
Here we go. Oh my god. Yo. Holy crap. Holy crap.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
His family vlog channel is a collaboration with his wife, Brittany Smith Atwood. His children are in them as well, and it's become a very popular hub over the years, obtaining more subscribers than his original channel. Needless to say, Roman Atwood has a rabid fan base and numerous supporters even to this day. He's able to aggregate about 200K views and upload on his family channel and podcast channel, though his main channel hasn't been active since 2016, and that's just because prank channels fell off, but he still is relevant. But with all that attention, there's bound to be some harassment. A minority of freaks that want nothing more than to make Roman and his family miserable by scaring the ever-living shit out of them. You see, sometime in late 2019, early 2020, the Atwoods started slowing down their upload schedule, at least in comparison to their old schedule, which was almost daily. Now, many speculated that this was due to COVID and the lockdown, as the Atwoods couldn't go out and venture like they had done before with the restraint of having to stay indoors in place. But there were other things at play entirely. In a video from November 25th of 2020 titled "I Can't Beat This," Roman would hint that something bad had been going on and that he just wanted to talk about it, but he could not yet come out with the full story.
When Brittany and I made our first video back in 2020, it was like 4 videos ago, we thought that we were really close to being able to come out and tell you this story. It was an important part of how we could come back. We have to wait for certain things to happen so that we can come back. This world, my whole career has been completely on hold because of this situation.
However, a few months later, on January 23rd, 2021, Roman would upload a video titled "Forced Off YouTube, Full FBI Story." This would go into full detail about the issue. In this video, Roman would state that the reasoning behind the sparse uploads and the disappearance of the Atwood family on YouTube was because the Atwoods were fearing for their lives.
We have left out of the fear of our life. Literally,
the safety of our kids, like our house, our everything we have.
Most of you know, at the end of the day, we're just a family. Like, we are literally a mom and dad with our kids, and nothing is more important than the safety of our family. We've been dealing with some extremely scary stalkers. I don't mean like the stalkers that just kind of call your phone, they get a hold of your number and they're calling you and
or they drive past your house. Like,
prank phone calls.
It's like has targeted us for literally just harassment 24/7.
Extreme harassment.
It seemed that the Atwood family was dealing with a seriously scary stalker situation. And we're not talking just the type of dude that, drives by your house to fuck with you. That stuff is bad, but their situation went far beyond that. Some of the
Yeah.
things that these stalkers reportedly did to the Atwoods included placing a bomb threat while the family was attending a funeral, which
What the
caused the
fuck?
Atwoods to have to get in touch with the FBI. They've also apparently hacked into the family's vehicles, shutting them on and off, and they've reportedly even gotten access to the actual house at one point to where they can turn the power off remotely.
So access
It's
with the
even said
actual
that the
house, I mean,
Atwoods
they can
have
enter the
essentially
house as
had their
well.
identities
So,
stolen,
see
with the
people.
stalkers/hackers gaining access to their important personal information, canceling the Atwoods' car insurance at one point, and when they tried to get their shit turned back on, the stalkers started sending photos of them that were taken from somewhere outside of the house, like there were people looking at them taking photos. Every detail, every private boundary, anything to do with a camera or an account, these stalkers had access to. They'd fucked with the Atwoods mail and would send them packages addressed with extremely disturbing names on them.
These guys would like change our mail. Like
so
we would
maliciouss.
just get
What the hell?
mail. Our mail. But instead of saying like Roman Atwood or Brittany Atwood, it would say like abortion bombing clinic. It was always super like dark and evil. It was always like super hateful and super just demented. It was never like something funny or silly, or it was very, very like just dark.
Anytime that the Atwoods would regain one of their online accounts back, the stalkers would simply break in all over again and change the info. These disturbed individuals were tormenting the Atwoods. Anytime that they tried to change their phone numbers or other information, the stalkers would always get access
Yeah,
back,
they're
or
a
would be
psycho.
able to track them down somehow.
And then like we would spend all the time to get our numbers changed, like get all it changed, and then instantly he'd text like, you think you can just change your number, or like you think you can hide, or just super scary, guys. Like when you think of like intrusive, like it's the most intrusive feeling that we've ever had. It's the worst experience we've ever had in our life.
It seemed like there was nothing that they could do. They were basically hostages in their own home, kidnapped by an unseen entity that knew everything about them and was threatening their lives. The Atwoods were in fear for their lives and were forced to get in touch with authorities to the point where they basically had FBI agents in their house at all times. The FBI also advised them to get off of YouTube so that didn't interfere with the investigation with them being public figures. They didn't want the Atwoods to accidentally tip off to the public that, you know, they had FBI looking into these perpetrators. Later in the video, Roman would state that the FBI was a huge boon to their family, and it was with the help of the feds that they were even able to speak out publicly on the matter.
There is light
Did they
at
found him?
the end of this tunnel. We're so thankful for the FBI, just above and beyond. It's the only reason we're able to make this video right now and break down this barrier and move on. Like, you don't know how hard it is for us to, back before we quit YouTube, we were going through all this stuff.
Yeah, like
you have no idea how hard it is to put that smile on and try to give you my pure
yeah,
energy.
it's kind of
while
hard
this
to
stuff's
like
going
use
on in my
YouTube if you
life.
know
As
someone
of late
out there
2022,
looking
the
for your
case was
information.
still ongoing, but the
Oh, it's
FBI
still
were
going?
tracking leads, and Roman believed that there were many stalkers but one main guy. And they think that the FBI had a good idea who it was at this point. However, when it comes to actual news on the arrest or anything of that nature, it looks to be pretty hush-hush, as there's been no media coverage that I can find. But I imagine given that Atwood was allowed to upload again on YouTube, something had to have been done or someone had to have been found. As of now, Roman has made a new channel where he continues to upload daily along with his podcast as well, and his family channel. But unfortunately, his fame still forces him to deal with stalkers, as at one point, about a year ago, one stalker actually went to the location of Roman's podcast due to this individual being in love with Roman's wife, Brittany. Thankfully, though, police
Wait.
officers were around when
So
this
either-
individual arrived
the
and he was
ex-stalker?
arrested.
I don't like blacks, Hispanic.
And try to give you
To have been found. As of now, Roman has made a new channel where he continues
and try to give you my pure energy.
was at this point. However, when it comes to actual news on the arrest or anything of that nature, it looks to be pretty hush-hush, as there's been no media coverage that I can find. But I imagine given that Atwood was allowed to upload again on YouTube, something had to have been done or someone had to have been found. As of now, Roman has made a new channel where he continues to upload daily along with his podcast as well, and his family channel. But unfortunately, his fame still forces him to deal with stalkers, as at one point, about a year ago, one stalker actually went to the location location of Roman's podcast due to this individual being in love with Roman's wife, Brittany. Thankfully, though, police officers were around when this individual arrived and he was arrested.
So it basically one was a stalker, or maybe like another one, like a different one. I think there's a different one. So okay, this is kind of wild. Like she already married. Why did you chasing a married woman? Like what the fuck wrong with you?
I don't like blacks and Spanish. Some whites also. I don't like whites, but there are no whites in Miami.
Next, we have the story of a racist animal abuser YouTuber whose actions caught in 4K and posted to the web resulted in a visit from the federales. At the time of this story unfolding, Mustafa Husseini, aka Vamvina, was a 34-year-old YouTuber that had reportedly been living in Totowa, New Jersey, but somehow made his way to Davie, Florida, where he had been living out of his car. Now, it seemed that Mustafa was absolutely unhinged and that these videos weren't your typical point-and-wave sort of vlog. Mustafa was in fact saying some rather concerning stuff here. His videos have been mostly wiped from the web, but here are some quotes from the guy. "When it's war, I don't like Americans either. I don't like blacks, Hispanics, whites. I don't like whites, but there are no whites in Miami. Imagine burning a black person because I don't like blacks. I don't know any blacks. I can't even name any blacks. I don't know any black people. The car to run over the enemy head and break and smash it on the ground like an egg. There is not a lot of difference in pleasure in killing, and yeah, I know because I kill anything. I want to genocide the Americans. Their game has ended. You have nothing to play with, anybody, especially me." Husseini also claimed that he had a long military career in one of his videos. Quote, "As a warrior, as a soldier, I burn soldiers. They get burned by me. I just pour gasoline from helicopters, from cars and trucks. I burn the cities." In one video from October of 2019, Mustafa would burn a parakeet alive and named it Jesus to reportedly symbolize the Christians that he wanted to kill. "I want to genocide most animals, all black people, all blonde people, most of European people. I am racist and only a few of my own race is plenty to live on. If you disrupt me, I must burn you when the war begins. I kill you. I am my own king. I kill you." Why does he say it like, why is it said like the fucking, what is that comedian? The fucking Jeff Dunham, Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. I kill you.
Silence! I kill you!
As Mustafa was constantly uploading while driving through Florida, all of these things said on the channel would get the attention of FBI, which would eventually lead to Mustafa's downfall. Now, there's multiple conflicting reports. One states that Miami officers received several tips from anonymous sources about Mustafa's channel, and other reports suggest that officers discovered the videos themselves after they had found Mustafa loitering at Nova Southeastern University and investigated him. Whatever the case, at this university, public safety officers witnessed Mustafa filming himself and acting suspicious. They confronted him and he was given a trespass warning by officers along with the Davie Police Department. Afterwards, the police department conducted a further investigation and found the concerning videos on his channel. This cause for concern led to authorities alerting the FBI. The feds then conducted their own investigation, in which they found a total of 12 videos that included Mustafa threatening various groups. Thus, the FBI sprang into action and made their arrest. Mustafa was later identified at a Shell gas station on University Drive and was subsequently arrested on the charge of transmitting a threat and was then held in federal custody. It was also revealed that Mustafa had a substantial rap sheet, having served time behind bars in Arizona for aggravated assault and had a pending charge in Georgia as well.
So they got a
stated
career
that during the arraignment for Mustafa, other defendants, while waiting for their turn in court, actually squirmed in their seats when listening to the detail of Mustafa's charges by the judge. There was even an attempt to get Mustafa into a halfway house, but the judge immediately denied that, stating that the perpetrator would be around different races of people in the halfway house that, you know, individuals that he had been threatening on his channels. That probably wasn't the best idea. During pre-trial hearings, there were multiple instances where Mustafa's attorney attempted to dismiss the charges, but each motion was denied. As of now, there's not been any report of a sentencing, so the case still seems to be in limbo. And well, you've made it to the end.
Well,
let me know what you guys thought about this video
video.
down below in the comment section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons.
It's actually quite nice. So basically, majority of the people here, well, not majority, like half of them, uh, got investigated mainly because of their video. Kind of the video, like even though they had no bad intention, and some of them are just basically like actual bad intention. So yeah, like the Rowan Atwood guy, he basically just do stuff. He just basically contact the FBI because some guy, stalking his family, and yeah, that's understandable. Like, boy, food, fast food crime. Oh no.
Today's episode is all about the most disgusting,
Yes,
violent,
allowed to
and
be super
downright
crazy.
scandalous controversies to unfold in the realm of fast food. From Jack's employees contaminating food with menstrual blood, to McDonald's managers selling drugs using the drive-thru window, to a Burger King refusing to serve the disabled, welcome to yet another installment of the internet's most infamous fast food disasters.
Oh what the? Is it Chucker? She's a
If
Chipotle
you're watching
Chucker.
this video, it's more likely than not that you've received bad customer service at fast food before. While it can be extremely frustrating, most of you out there have the social awareness not to make a big scene out of it and, work towards a sensible compromise with the employees who fucked you over. Well, this
You
wouldn't
give
be
me
the
my wrong
case
order. I
with the
ordered zero
woman who
right there.
became
The two.
frustrated at a Chipotle in Parma, Ohio late last year. This is the story of the Chipotle Chucker. In September of 2023, a customer by the name of Rosemary Hain became furious after receiving her order, apparently being unsatisfied with the quality of her Chipotle. Despite attempts to calm her down, Hain completely lost it and violently threw a bowl of hot food directly into the employee's chest and face. The whole incident was recorded by a bystander, with another customer immediately confronting Hain and threatening to call the cops over the matter.
Actual Karen. Bro. But I like how like one lady actually come in and oh shit, pirate invasion.
It shouldn't be surprising that this footage was immediately uploaded to social media, with many being outraged by the woman's absurd behavior. The victim in question was 17-year-old Emily Russell, with Rosemary being quickly arrested and charged with assault. According to Fox 8 News, when questioned about why she committed such a bizarre act, she stated, "If I showed you how my food looked and how my food looked a week later from that same restaurant, it's disgusting." Despite this, she did offer a full apology and made it clear she regretted her actions. The judge, however, was completely unsympathetic to her pleas.
Yeah, like she
was
attacked
sentenced
someone.
to 180 days in jail, with 90 of them being suspended. According to official sources, Judge Timothy Gilligan, who was presiding over the case, wasn't quite done yet, though. While a jail sentence was bad enough, he felt that this was an opportunity to teach the woman what it was like to be on the receiving end of customer abuse. So he offered her a deal. If she worked in a fast food restaurant for a minimum of 20 hours for an 8-week period, he would significantly reduce her jail sentence. And this was an offer that she readily took. Yeah, part of her punishment from the judge was having her actually work at a restaurant. While this had clearly been an unpleasant experience for the young worker, she didn't seem to let it impact her all too much. In an interview with USA Today, she stated, "I was telling the judge she left the building and went to her car, and she came back, and that's what she did to my face. We live in a world right now where she could have done anything she wanted. She could have punched me in my face or pulled a gun out. I'm lucky that I only got a bowl thrown in my face." It was also revealed that she believed the punishment was befitting of the crime, saying she was satisfied with the outcome. In addition to all of this, a GoFundMe was started for the girl, with it racking up over $10,000 in total donations. Obviously, what Hain had done was inexcusable and shouldn't have happened. But the donations and public outcry certainly served as a nice silver lining to the unfortunate event. However, this wouldn't be the end of the story. An article was recently released by the news outlet Grub Street, where they examined her life after the incident and whether or not she had actually received a proper punishment. According to the article, she ended up being employed at a Burger King restaurant to comply with the judge's request. But this is about as far as her goodwill went. She's had some questionable comments when reflecting on the incident.
Oh,
Having the nerve to imply the clip of her throwing the food in the employee's face had been, quote, taken out of context, stating, "If you saw the full video, you'll see me waiting for 35 minutes. You'll see me say something to Emily that's not rude."
Dude, even then, you shouldn't attacking people. You know, like even though you wait for long food, you shouldn't attacking people. It basically like you're gonna you put your hand on someone, they're not gonna like you. At least you complain. Okay, I'm waiting so long. Why my food? Blah, blah, blah. You just straight up like throwing a bowl onto someone. Like you allowed to complain, but when you put your hand on someone, all of your complaint went out the window.
Rude or anything. You'll see her talk rude to me. I wish I could post that. It's also important to clarify here that the reason she says that she was upset was that she thought that the food just looked disgusting. The order was actually totally correct, but you know, she justifies her outrage by saying that it just looked like shit. Which I've had some fucked up bowls from Chipotle before, but come on, bitch, this is like out of line. This combined with the extremely long wait time and the allegedly rude service apparently led this woman to the infamous outburst. Overall, the situation serves as a reminder that fast food workers are human beings as well. And no matter how frustrating terrible service can be, it's never worth going completely psycho over some food. A common trope in movies and TV shows is the idea of a disgruntled fast food worker tampering with the customer's order, usually by spitting on the food and serving it while the recipient will mindlessly go about eating it without a second thought. While it's disturbing to imagine, it's actually extremely rare that this happens. Most of the stories that you've seen online over the years regarding fast food contamination, it's all hoaxes, myths, and urban legends. That being said, some incidents have occurred, and one of the most graphic and disturbing occurred at a restaurant in Columbus, Mississippi. This is the story of Jack's secret sauce. On January 7th of 2017, 18-year-old Sky Juliet Samuel was working at a Jack's restaurant when she became frustrated with a customer in the drive-thru. The exact wording of their exchange is unknown, but the important thing is that it was enough to greatly upset both parties. Sky in particular got so upset that she decided to add something a bit extra to the customer's order when making it. According to later reports, she licked the cheese for the burger and then proceeded to wipe menstrual blood onto the sandwich, allegedly disguising this stuff with the condiment. Sky's co-worker witnessed all of this, and when she went home, immediately told her mother about the incident, who then proceeded to make a post on Facebook, warning any patrons that had ordered food from the restaurant in a specific window of time that their order may have been tampered with in a serious way. The victim had reported Sky, intending to get her in trouble for her poor customer service, but after seeing the post, put two and two together and reported the incident to the authorities. According to an article by KFOR News, the mother of the co-worker who had initially reported the tampering was fired a few days later, implying that Jax had attempted to cover up the whole thing. However, this rumor was dispelled once it was revealed the employee in question was actually terminated for stealing food. Once the news became public knowledge, a wave of disgust swept through the internet, as many were horrified picturing the event in their minds. It goes without saying that Sky would be fired immediately from her position, but the story doesn't end there. This wasn't a simple prank gone wrong, it was a serious health code violation that could potentially land her in prison for up to 5 years. She eventually did turn herself into police after a warrant was issued, willingly allowing herself to be arrested. However, she was soon released on a $5,000 bond. Interestingly, according to the Daily Mail, the girl had previously worked at a Krispy Kreme nearby, but was terminated for reasons that weren't exactly clear. Hopefully she didn't add some of her own custom frosting to a strawberry donut. A spokesperson for Jax released a lengthy statement expressing their concern regarding the ordeal, making absolute certain to emphasize that this was a unique incident that had never happened before at their establishment, making it clear that they were fully cooperating with the proper authorities.
Jack sent out this statement saying in part, "Food safety is our top priority at Jack's Family Restaurants. The company takes any claims of improper food handling very seriously." Recently, an audio tape recording was posted on social media claiming that an employee at the restaurant in Columbus potentially violated our stringent food handling standards. The employee allegedly involved in this incident was terminated several days ago for unrelated reasons and no longer works for the company. The restaurant received an A rating. At this point, Jack's internal investigation is ongoing, and the company will do everything it can to assist authorities with their own investigation.
The story gained so much traction that Sky was covered by the Breakfast Club and was deemed Donkey of the Day by Charlemagne the God.
What the fuck?
Let me get a bite of that period patty.
Yeah.
I'll have a menstrual cycle with cheese,
What the
please.
fuck?
Hold the pickles. Sky,
Yeah.
I don't know where you're eligible to work after this. Okay, you need to go to college and get you an education because this is by far one of the worst things to ever have to write on a job application. Have you ever been convicted or arrested of a crime? If so, what? Yes, I got arrested for putting period blood on people's burgers. Please give Sky Samuels
Nothing
the
wrong
biggest
with that,
hee-haw.
by the way.
That's disgusting.
What the fuck?
Sky was eventually sentenced to 1 year in prison in late 2017, which is pretty nuts because in a lot of these fast food cases, most of the people just end up getting fired. Very rarely do they break the law and get time served, but that's the case with this woman. It's disappointing that someone would throw away their reputation over something so petty, with this story serving as a grim reminder to be alert when receiving fast food from strangers at restaurants. So basically, you need to be paranoid every time you get a McChicken or some sort of fucking sandwich, because who knows what sort of bodily fluids might have been squirted on that bitch.
Yeah.
The restaurant itself seems to be going strong, meaning that despite the controversy, they were still able to maintain a loyal base of customers. So if you guys couldn't tell, diving into these fast food stories is some of the most fun that I have here on the channel.
but it's also
And I'd like
so
to thank today's
disgusting. What the
sponsor,
hell?
Ground News, for helping me get the facts straight. There's people digging up old clips of him allegedly using slurs. It's a lot to go through and tough the 5 sources covering headlines can be. Likes keep get 40%.
Got his order. When he saw the words
Little
"little ugly
ugly
dude"
dude.
printed at the bottom, he ran out of the restaurant.
Much like rude customers, rude service workers are a dime a dozen in today's busy world. But rarely will they directly insult you to your face. Usually workers will have enough common sense not to berate customers or call them names at the risk of losing their job. But occasionally
it's
things
so
do
bad.
slip through
It's
the
someone
cracks
calling
and
me.
employees just can't seem to help themselves. In 2016, a 15-year-old teenager named Quintarius made an order at a Wendy's located in Mobile, Alabama. At first, everything seemed normal until he noticed the workers laughing at him as he received his order. Confused, he looked at the receipt and found out that somebody had inputted his name as Lil Ugly Dude. While the insult may seem tame, it had a significant impact on the young man. According to his mother, Tanisha, Quintarius had suffered from mental health issues his entire life, and the incident was a massive blow to his self-esteem. When she found out about the incident, she was furious, posting about the issue to Facebook in an attempt to garner support, stating the following. "My child was so embarrassed and upset, he said the whole store was laughing at him, including the manager. I play about a lot of things, but my kids isn't one. My ghetto side was telling me to go back up there and let him have it, but I'd rather do it the right way." She would further express her frustration in an interview with the local news outlet WKRG, characterizing the incident as blatant bullying.
We get the receipt and I looked at it and say, "Little ugly dude," and I'm like, really?
It hurt my feelings.
Oh no, it's
It
actually
made me
hard.
cry. I was embarrassed and I felt bad.
Because it's considered bullying. You know, you don't go around making fun of people because you don't know their situations. That's bullying.
Quintarius was obviously extremely upset by what had happened, as anyone else would be, honestly. I mean, he got violated by these dudes. The story would gain traction across the internet and started getting covered by numerous media outlets. Given how much negative publicity the incident had caused, Wendy's was quick to step in and offer an apology. Ed Sheffield, a spokesperson for the company, issued a statement claiming the employees in question had been fired, issuing an apology to the family as well as the victim himself. It's unclear exactly why the employee felt that they needed to do this. The insult really doesn't make sense, as, I mean, Quintarius is like a relatively normal looking guy. And like, why would you know, make a paper trail for if the guy did find it? Like, it's really easy to just be like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, it's on the receipt. You can just bring it back and be like, this has the time, the date, probably even the cashier's name on it. And then you guys are fucking with me in a way that I can easily backtrace. These guys just must have been really bored, I guess. Regardless, the incident certainly soured the young man's perception regarding the fast food establishment. But hopefully he took some solace in the fact that those responsible had been held accountable. The Wendy's in question is still in operation today with a surprising Google rating of 3.4. But that was the story of Lil Ugly Dude, not to be mistaken with Lil Ugly Mane.
I'm about to wash the floor with these birds.
It's no secret that over the past few decades, fast food restaurants haven't exactly kept up stellar reputations for themselves. They're often characterized.
There's so many stories about like people tampering with fast food. As it point, I kind of scared going to eating fast food. So yeah, like I don't know what they do up there. So.
Characterized as being extremely cheap and having poor customer service, but the silver lining to this is the knowledge that you're getting the same thing every time, not having to worry about sanitary issues since the restaurants are all held to the same strict sanitation standards across the country. Unfortunately, employees can sometimes abuse this sense of security and get away with some pretty wild stuff, which is exactly what happened in an unassuming Checkers restaurant located in Philadelphia. In October of 2016, an employee named Richard Benson and his co-workers decided to start live streaming to Facebook, presumably out of sheer boredom. Now, while goofing around on the job like this isn't uncommon, it was the thing said during the stream that got people's attention. Upon watching re-uploads of the stream, you can see and hear Benson making numerous disturbing claims, including that he's actually taking bites or eating.
The reason I know about food tampering is considered extremely illegal because there is a case of people tampering with medicine, and it released into like a lot of people dying. So yeah, the Tylenol murdering. They replace the Tylenol with like cyanide or something. It caused a lot of people die. Like it's, I don't think anyone caused them or something.
Burgers that are supposed to be served to customers.
This is not my burger, it's doing some fit.
At one point, he even goes as far as saying that if his ops came to the restaurant, he would take the buns of the burgers that they ordered and wipe them on the floor before serving.
What the fuck?
When our ops come through, this is what we gotta do to them. I'm about to drop this on the, I'm about to wash the floor with these birds.
Bro was ready to catch his ops lacking. They continued to dig their hole even deeper as the stream went on, with Benson saying that he didn't see the point of using gloves while making food. You know, just like a complete disregard for standard health practices.
What you say? What's the point of wearing gloves is what? So your hands don't get dirty. Talking about your look. She talking about your look.
Gloves, man.
You're slicking. Look at him.
I make this bare hands, man. I scratch my head and make a burger.
The card, bro.
According to the Checkers website, in basic common sense, regularly changing your gloves and washing your hands while making food is absolutely mandatory, with the employees displaying a flippant attitude the entire time. Towards the end, you can also clearly see the man smoking what looks to be a blunt, though official sources claim that it was simply a cigar or a cigarette. After the live stream, the group of coworkers decided it would probably be best if they deleted it, apparently just assuming that nobody would care enough to report the incident. Unfortunately for this group, it turns out, you know, most people become pretty
Yeah.
alarmed when restaurant employees are bragging about messing with food that they're giving to the public.
Yeah.
And this is being streamed online as well. The message got spread across the internet and people were kind of worried about these people. Many in the
people
online
hate it
community that
when
saw this
someone
video
messing with
were
their food,
shocked and
you know?
appalled given the fact that some individuals watching this stream had actually eaten at the Checkers that was being showcased in this disgusting live stream. With Checkers
You can
corporate
try
quickly
to
scrambling to
get
try and
emerald
salvage
and,
their
turn
damaged
it into a
image.
tree.
Benson was,
Yeah.
of course,
Emerald
immediately
tree.
fired along with several of his
both was the
co-workers,
best.
with the company claiming that they would also be retraining their staff in an effort to rehabilitate the restaurant. It also wouldn't be long before Richard himself would speak out in his defense. According to an interview conducted by NBC 10, Benson claims he was joking the entire time and would
God,
never
he's
actually
joking.
do any of the things that he described.
I only
And
joking.
on top of that, I'm a comedian. I rap a lot. Like I love. So it's more like to get people to, oh, now we know who he is. Then when I promote a CD or something, it's like, oh, that's the boy from Checkers. That, oh, his song hot. You know, it's basically a publicity stunt. It went wrong. Like I didn't even post it. The crazy thing is, I was going live. When you done going live, it asks you, do you want to post it or delete it? I deleted it.
He was a self-described rapper and comedian and called the whole thing a publicity stunt. Though suffice to say his jokes weren't landing. In complete fairness, there was no conclusive proof that they actually messed with any of the food that had been served to customers. That being said, according to an article from Inquirer, the restaurant had already been due for a reinspection after the unsatisfactory review from the Philadelphia Department of Health that had been given just a month prior. The restaurant had apparently closed its doors without being prompted by the authorities and issued a statement condemning the incident, though this did little to quell the backlash. Benson
Why is there
expressed
nothing
regret
here?
at himself and the others fired, but made it a point to emphasize that they had never done anything to mess with the integrity of the food they had served to customers, though he definitely did smoke inside of the kitchen. Reports regarding the incident eventually stopped, and the Checkers in question is currently closed down, seemingly for good. While it's hard to tell if the incident is the exact reason for the closure, it's hard to imagine that it didn't at least play somewhat of a role. Interestingly, a similar Checkers incident had occurred just a year prior in 2015, where employees did actually wipe buns on the floor. And this was a national news story covered by numerous mainstream media organizations.
There's just one word for this: disgusting.
Wait, why did
An employee at the fast food chain Checkers intentionally drops a hamburger bun on the floor, wipes it around, then prepares it like business as usual. It was recorded on a cell phone by her coworker. One guy seems shocked.
Oh my God, yo.
At the end of the day, the workers in question were more than
Dude,
likely just bored
recorded
and
themselves doing
didn't
crime.
really do
Okay.
any contaminations, but you know, going live with this kind of stuff, you gotta remember, man, once you post something online, it's there forever. Good luck getting a job in the food industry after this stunt.
Oh, what is it? Oh, damn.
Pulling pranks on fast food workers is an age-old tradition, with some of the earliest viral successes on YouTube being
Wait, why
these
is-
types of
why
videos,
is
a
the
la like
sus
fire in the hole
element doesn't
videos.
spawn?
However, while most of these pranks are certainly annoying, it's very rare that any of them cross into criminal territory. This unfortunately wasn't the case in 2016, when one prankster took things way too far. As the story goes, it was a typical night at a Burger King located in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, when the manager of the restaurant had received a distressing phone call. The caller posed as a firefighter and advised the manager of a potentially dangerous situation, claiming that there were harmful fumes that could result in the restaurant literally exploding. According to local news reports, after this call, he panicked and instructed the employees to bust out the windows of the establishment in order to prevent a catastrophe, with the entire ordeal being caught on camera.
Wait, so everyone just oh. Okay, out of here.
It goes without saying that all of this was completely false. Not only had the fire department never contacted the Burger King, but there was no toxic gas to be found there at all. Ethan Grew, who had been working at the time of the incident, told CBS News that, quote, his other coworkers were doing it, so he just followed along, unquote. While on the surface it seems ridiculous, in the moment it appeared to be very real to those involved. Apparently, the caller had done extensive research in an effort to come across as legitimate as possible, fooling the manager and making a mockery out of the local authorities. However, this was far from an isolated incident. In a bizarre twist, the exact same thing had occurred in April of the same year at another Burger King located in Oklahoma. Similar to the previous story, a prankster called the restaurant and convinced the employees that if they didn't break the windows, deadly gas would spread throughout the building. This too was of course a hoax, costing this particular Burger King over 10 grand in total damages. When speaking to local news outlet KFOR, a firefighter named Thomas Larman stated, quote, it is a little upsetting that they would try to give the fire department a black eye. We would never do anything like that. We're here to serve the public, protect the public. However, these two stories paled in comparison to an incident that occurred at another Burger King located in Morro Bay, California. As in the previous stories, the same thing happened, and like clockwork, the workers began to break down the windows. The manager apparently then had the fantastic idea of driving his large truck through the building. While in previous instances, the breaking of windows was arguably justifiable considering the fact that they actually believed there was a real gas threat, it's hard to imagine why anyone would think ramming a large vehicle into the restaurant would help in any way. According to the Daily Mail, this caused $35,000 in damages, with the manager in question being suspended. The sheer volume of incidents occurring resulted in authorities investigating the matter further, believing that it could be a coordinated attempt, but it's unclear if a culprit was ever found even after all of these years later.
Wait, they still didn't found the guy who called?
I can't do any full order at the window, I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with your disability. I have a disability too, okay?
What?
Disabled people are one of the most vulnerable groups in America, often facing difficulties with tasks that would otherwise be easy to complete for an average healthy adult. Because of this, the government has passed several laws and regulations making it mandatory for businesses to assist disabled customers. Unfortunately, this can sometimes conflict with the inherent nature of fast food restaurants who want paying customers in and out as quickly as possible. With an example of this going down at a Burger King in 2019. This is the case of the tone-deaf Burger King. In August of that year, a deaf woman by the name of Rachel Hollis decided she would get fast food with her son, figuring it would be a smooth experience, as she claimed she had done this numerous times before without issue. Instead of speaking into the intercom and placing her order, she pulled up to the drive-thru window and handed the employee her cell phone where she had her full order written out in the iPhone Notes app. This is where things turned sour for the family. For whatever reason, the employee in question refused to meet her request, handing the woman a handwritten note on a receipt, claiming they were too busy and unable to accommodate her disability. While they stated she needed to go inside and order, Hollis was rightfully indignant. It made absolutely no sense for her to do this, and considering the fact that her children were napping, she felt like they were being unreasonable and she wasn't going to move out of the line until they served her. Instead of simply accepting the fact that her order might take a little bit longer than normal, they decided to call the police on her, claiming over the phone that she was refusing to leave. Of course, all of this had been caught on film, with the footage subsequently being provided to a local news outlet who included it in their report on the issue.
What? You have to come inside. It is too busy. Too busy, ma'am. I can't do any full order at the window. I'm sorry. It has nothing
oh my god, at least get her order because she mute, she cannot speak. Oh god damn, she feels so fucking deaf.
I just wanted my food. They should treat me like a hearing customer.
Hollis says police did show up but didn't even get out of their cars to question her. She says she eventually got her kids fed and home, but that's when she broke down.
I was very upset, I was crying, I was very tired. I'm tired of discrimination. I never experienced anything like that. For someone to call the police, that's crazy. It just didn't seem right.
While the man in the video claimed his request had nothing to do with their disability, many others begged to differ. Online commentators were outraged, with many pointing out the Burger King staff had made things infinitely worse by making a scene instead of just taking her order.
Yeah.
As stated before, this was also in direct violation of the American Disabilities Act, which mandates that businesses have to provide their services for anyone regardless of whether or not they are disabled. Because of this, Rachel Hollis decided to enlist the services of an attorney named Cameron Spradling, who claimed they had violated the law by not taking Miss Hollis's order. Suffice to say, the Burger King employee was swiftly fired, with the whole ordeal kind of highlighting how stress-inducing jobs in the food industry can sometimes conflict with the person's basic human decency, with them feeling as if they gotta, be fast with it. You're turning down blind, disabled people, goddammit. The news outlet Today reached out to the fast food giant for comment and received this email in response. Quote, all guests should be treated with respect. The employee was terminated and all employees at that location will undergo additional sensitivity training to ensure our customers always feel welcomed.
Right between the cheeseburgers and a medium fries, packets of crack cocaine.
The idea of an innocuous business serving as a drug front seems too insane to actually be true.
Okay, that sounds
Shout out
way
to
too
Los
fucking
Pollos Hermanos.
yeah.
The concept being reserved for TV shows and movies and, basically an impossibility. However, it turns out that for a Brooklyn McDonald's, this fantasy was much closer than reality than one would think possible. 26-year-old Frank Guerrero seemed like your average employee. He worked as the night shift manager at the fast food chain for 8 years, something that certainly took a lot of hard work and dedication. Unfortunately, it seemed that the pay left something to be desired, as Frank began to expand into more shady business ventures on the side. Behind the scenes, he was running an illegal narcotic ring using his position at the store as a means to deliver drugs to customers. An article from New York Daily News reports that he went about it like this. The particular McDonald's restaurant was open 24 hours, meaning at a certain point only the drive-thru window was open. Despite this, he would allow his drug customers to enter through the front door and conduct their business, stashing the drugs themselves in soap dispensers. He would often give the customers their special product in McDonald's meal bags. Something that sounds so absolutely ridiculous on the surface, to be honest. It's like, this is like an actual Happy Meal, you know what I'm saying? Apparently this system worked well, at least for a time. Guerrero would eventually be busted by authorities for slanging out of the Golden Arches. According to the Office of the Special Narcotics Prosecutor for the City of New York, officers conducted numerous exchanges with Guerrero before making the arrest. Over the course of 8 separate dealings, he sold them almost $11,000 worth of cocaine. He was so brazen with it that undercover officers were able to score 100 grams of the illegal substance in a single exchange. Talk about a fucking meal deal. This was a massive operation drawing a significant amount of money, but as with all things of this nature, it didn't last. After investigating Frank's home, they managed to find over 200 grams of cocaine in addition to a significant amount of cash. The case was so ridiculous that even those involved in the investigation made a joke out of it. When speaking to the press, they revealed that the code name for the entire operation was, quote, off the menu. When speaking to the New York Post, narcotics prosecutor Bridget G. Brennan said, quote, the conduct was so blatant that it would be comical if he weren't committing a serious narcotics crime. Ordering coke took an entirely different meaning on the night shift at this McDonald's. Due to the significant amount of drugs discovered at his home, Frank's wife was also arrested on suspicion of collusion. While it may seem like an operation like this was impossible to slip through the cracks without the owners knowing, it seems like this was exactly the case. The owner of the restaurant released a statement condemning the crime, claiming he was in full cooperation with authorities on the matter. Reporters, of course, had a field day with the story as well, making numerous puns at the expense of the criminal fast food worker.
Involved in this sting operation were saying, I'm loving it, when they got that side of Coke along with their burger and fries offer at this Soundview McDonald's. They say cocaine and crack cocaine were on the menu with the night manager doing the dishing up, but it's the kind of Coke that gets you time behind bars. The night manager had a busy side hustle selling to undercover cops. 26-year-old Frank Guerrero had been the night manager here for 8 years, but cops caught on to his drug trade and crack and cocaine during several undercover buys, eventually racking up more than 10 grand worth of illegal drugs that they say the manager would sell to them by tucking it inside a cookie
He's a
bag.
manager. He's not like a worker. He's a manager.
This is fish on the floor.
Wait,
we
why-
don't know if it was going to be cooked or used for sushi, but we do know it doesn't belong on a filthy, wet, greasy kitchen floor.
Chinese buffets are a staple of any American city. With fast service, cheap prices, and plenty of food, these establishments
even
often
freezer,
draw in
not even
crowds
like-
of hungry
not
working
even
class
a
individuals trying to
refrigerator.
get their
Like,
money's worth in a struggling economy. Unfortunately, many of them have reputations for being dingy and unclean, being characterized as extremely sketchy. While most of the time, food inspectors do their job and prevent businesses with shady practices from harming anyone, sometimes things do slip through the cracks, which is what happened in 2016 at a restaurant located in Miami, Florida. In January, a restaurant with the nondescript name China Buffet was investigated by the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation and was found to have had a whopping 110 health code violations, with the business receiving yet another 74 violations in early February. If this wasn't enough, later that same month they received yet even more violations, this time racking up to 86. It goes without saying that most of these were the result of the restaurant refusing to fix the same issues time and time again, with the place gaining notoriety in the local community. This was enough to pique the interest of local news station WPLG, who decided to launch an in-depth investigation of their own into the establishment. It's important to note that the vast majority of the information about this whole ordeal comes from them, as mainstream publications stayed away from covering what was primarily a local affair. WPLG reporters decided to take a closer look at what happened behind closed doors, filming everything notable they stumbled across. They found what seemed to be a scene out of Kitchen Nightmares: food that wasn't properly being stored, disgustingly dirty cleaning equipment, and a rancid bathroom that, according to them, emitted horrible smells. At the beginning of their report, you can see them examining what appears to be a raw slab of salmon that was just left sitting on the disgusting floor.
Not even,
keep
like,
in mind,
on
all
the
of this
table.
was filmed
So, yeah.
after the restaurant had been previously shut down numerous times for health code violations and had been bafflingly allowed to reopen without issue. The news crews later decided to confront the owner, who was extremely hostile when questioned, leading to this exchange.
The owner doesn't want to talk about it.
No cameras. No cameras what? First of all, don't touch. First of all, don't touch the camera.
Don't touch the camera.
Talk to my attorney.
Don't touch my
Don't
camera.
touch
Oh, no.
110 violations. It's the worst inspection we've
Wait,
seen in a long time.
110 violation and he's still allowed to open the store?
Eat what was recently found inside.
I'm gonna find somewhere else to go. You're gonna eat somewhere else. Yeah.
I just bought from there and I returned it.
After the report had been posted to YouTube, it went viral, accumulating over 12 million views and shocking online observers. Many were disgusted and appalled that such a restaurant was even allowed to operate. Travis Keels, a spokesperson for the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, was asked this very same question by WPLG. The regulator responded, quote, "Once an emergency closure or suspension of license has been cleared to vacate by the director of the Division of Hotels and Restaurants, an establishment has to come into compliance with any violations deemed an immediate threat to public health and safety and is permitted to open and operate." The news outlet would continue their coverage of the restaurant's antics in an attempt to shed light on something that could potentially lead to innocent people getting sick. They returned to the restaurant soon after their initial report, where they were confronted by an employee.
But today we were back again.
No,
I need
here.
to talk to Kevin.
Okay, no here. Okay.
Can you call him?
Okay, no here. Sorry.
I want to talk to you. Why? Don't
touch my camera.
Why do you keep?
Don't touch my
Why do you keep? Why is the place not getting better?
China Buffet was quietly bought out soon after and
that?
renamed Royal Buffet in 2017, perhaps in an attempt to distance themselves from its unsavory past.
You're the
Unfortunately,
same.
these new owners did not seem to be any better. Later
the
reports
noodle is the
indicate
same.
that they too would be shut down after a live rat and hundreds of pellets of rodent feces had been found during a restaurant inspection. If you look up the restaurant's address on Google, you'll be met with a warning stating the establishment is permanently closed, hopefully never causing the public any more issues in the future.
Oh, like fighting in the... Oh no. Oh no, they're fighting. Waffle House, Wendy.
Waffle House is a beloved breakfast chain that's an undeniable Southern staple, with hundreds
Waffle
of
House is a
locations across the
PvP zone.
country. And yes, if we considered the Chinese buffet a fast food place, we're considering Waffle House a fast food place, goddammit. Just for the sake of this video, okay? Despite their attempts to maintain a family-friendly, wholesome image, in recent years they've been characterized as cheap and somewhat ratchet, with memes regarding their employees getting into fights spreading across the internet. However, there is one particular incident of this nature that stands out, with it being legendary to this day. This is the story of Waffle House Wendy. In September of 2021, a violent fight broke out between customers and Waffle House staff at a restaurant located in Austin, Texas after some sort of disagreement. The incident was caught on camera, with bystanders cheering on the violence. At one point, chairs were being thrown, with one seemingly on a collision course for an employee named Haley Booth. However, instead of being struck down and severely injured like one might expect, she masterfully deflects the chair mid-air, seemingly preventing herself from being injured, and looks ready to throw fists right afterwards, like she's ready to fight.
Oh shit, you are wildin'!
Oh
shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Y'all wildin'! Y'all wildin'! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Waffle House PvP zone. What the fuck is happening? I just killed my goddamn robot at the door.
Oh my god, bro! Oh my god, bro! You wildin'! Yo, chill! You about to go to jail! Chill! Y'all about to go to jail!
Actual PvP zone.
Eventually, the violence came to an end, with the footage being uploaded online soon after. Something about these Waffle House workers, man, if you mess with them, they'll kick your ass. I mean, when you attack a Waffle House worker, it's like attacking a guard in a neutral city in an RPG game. While in many cases, clips like these have immediate viral success, it actually wouldn't gain traction until about a year later in late 2022 when it finally exploded in popularity. Because, you know, she's like fucking ultra instincting that chair, like, she saw that shit before it even happened. Perfect deflection. Onlookers were impressed that she had seemingly been unfazed, barely even reacting to having a chair thrown at her, with memes spreading rapidly depicting her as a hero of sorts, with some giving her the nickname Waffle House Wendy, the final boss of all Waffle House workers. This culminated in Haley herself creating a video where she cleared up many misconceptions and gave a more detailed account of her side of the story. Apparently, she had been written up by her boss after he saw her throw a sugar shaker in the security footage that showed the infamous fight. So she left voluntarily and tried to get work at another location. When she tried to apply at a new Waffle House, she was told that she had been blacklisted from working there.
Our boss comes in. He looks at the security footage.
So is it black?
And he looks at me.
Blacklist her because
he looks
she
back
tried
at
to
the
defend
security
herself?
footage, and he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a write-up because you threw the sugar shaker, and it broke. When I left, they had told me you're always welcome at this store, Haley. You know, whatever, you're good. But oh god, I was blacklisted." So it was kind of like I can't ever work for Waffle House again. I tried working for another one, like sometime earlier this year, and I had found out that I was blacklisted.
Many were outraged that she was being punished for simply defending herself, with Tucker Carlson even managing to snag an interview with her.
How did you remain so calm?
I really don't know. It kind of just all happened so fast. It was mainly just a pure rush of adrenaline and instinct that just kind of had me going.
Had anyone ever thrown a chair at you before?
I mean, kids get rowdy in middle school, but not like directly at me.
I don't think I've seen an employee calmer under pressure than you. I
Yeah,
assume
like
you
if I
got some
saw
sort
that
of
shit, I
reward and
just
special bonus from
book it. I'm
Waffle
just
House
gonna
corporate.
run on
How
the back
big
and
was
lock
the
the door.
I actually didn't get any bonus of it. The only thing that I did get from the fight was a write-up for breaking the sugar shaker. And you know, telling them telling me, you know, hey, we're gonna write you up for the sugar shaker, but you did a good job, you know, protecting the store, making sure that you were all right.
Wait, you were written up for breaking a sugar shaker when someone threw a chair at
Yes,
you?
sir.
After the dust had settled and people had an idea of what actually happened, Haley was approached by Rolling Stone for a phone interview where she gave them even more details about her life after the incident. According to her, she was extremely grateful for all the support and had even envisioned creating merchandise to capitalize on her viral success even further. Since then, it seems she's maintained a more low-key internet presence ever since the fanfare surrounding her fizzled out. While she did enjoy her 15 minutes of fame, it seems as though any attempt at leveraging her fame into any sort of meaningful online career has fallen flat on its face. But in the grand scheme of things, this is most likely for the best. And well, you've made it to the end. Let me know what you guys thought about Fast Food Disasters 3 down below in the comment section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I
Actually
appreciate
quite
you guys.
nice. But yeah, it's getting late. That is for me today. I'll make streams tomorrow, so see ya. Bye bye.